I don't think I need this right now. I think I can see the chat. Here. Oh shit, there's a lot of extra length there. All right, we public. Yeah. We are now live. All righty. All right. There we go. Should be good. I think we're good. I don't know. Let's see. All right, we got some people here. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Hi, Josh. How's it going? So I'm trying out a new setup. I'm using some different cameras, using a different camera, different encoder. Right now we got some Bitches Brew going. All right. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Hey Paris, how's it going? All right. Yeah, so how was everybody's New Year? You guys do anything special? I went out to dinner with the wife and almost made it to midnight, kind of fell asleep and then woke back up. We were watching Black Mirror. And that show's interesting. So hopefully this, what's up Matthew? How's it going? I hope this chat is refreshing well. I'm gonna check my phone here just to make sure that I'm getting your guys' comments. Yeah, Kurt, I got married last year. June 30th was the wedding. Yeah. Wow, the year's gone by quick. All right, where am I looking here? I was checking the comments, just making sure. Yeah, here we go. Do I get the comments? There we go, live chat. Maybe this will be easier. Yeah, this looks like it'll be better on my phone here. Yeah, I am 35, but I will turn 36 on the 12th of this month, so coming up very quickly. I actually have to work. I will be working on my actual birthday, but I'll celebrate later. Oh no, I lost my screen here. Think but oh, there it goes. There it goes. Man, so many things you have to consider doing this stuff. Okay, where are we here? Yes, Kurt. I get that a lot. I don't look as old as I am, and that's interesting, especially in LA here. Yeah, sometimes it can hurt you, sometimes it can help you. It's just kind of funny that way. I wonder if I should plug in the iPad and then it won't die on me. Do I have a preference between Bitches Brew and Kind of Blue? Ha! Well, I am developing that right now because I don't really know either of those albums very well, so I don't know yet. I mean, they're made at two different points in this life. I feel like in a lot of ways my own personal style is more with Kind of Blue, but this is really good too. So I mean, it really depends on my mood, I guess. What is my favorite episode of Black Mirror so far? Asked Matthew. I don't know if I saw the USS Callister. That one threw me for a loop. That was the opening. That was the first episode. That one I didn't know what to make of it, and then I kind of warmed up to it. I still don't love it. I haven't finished the series yet. I feel like they repeat a lot of the stuff that was in previous seasons, so that's kind of a shame. Like I feel like the budget's gone up since Netflix took it over, but I feel like the writing isn't as good as it was before Netflix took it over. I don't know, like there was almost back-to-back episodes. Like the USS Callister had the thing that went right there, and then there was the investigator that would look into your eyewitness accounts, and she would put a thing right there too. And I thought that was like I don't know. It seemed like a little too uncreative. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. I liked the dating one, the one where you have this little device and they're dating all the time. But that one too, it seemed, once you think about it too much, it doesn't make much sense. So I don't know. I don't know if I enjoy it to a point, but I'm not in love with the Black Mirror. Oh, so the record spinner asked, what's the most I've spent on a single album? Oh, well, I mean, sometimes I trade for the really expensive stuff. Like I'll trade in a bunch of stuff, build up credit, and then buy an expensive album I wouldn't have. But I can't think of anything too crazy. Like I bought the Childish Gambino box edition. That was kind of expensive, but that to me is different. That's like a special edition. This Father John Misty was kind of pricey. That was like $30. The Weezer Mobile Fidelity pressing was like $35. That was quite a bit. I feel like there was something else. I don't keep track, man. I prefer to get stuff, like I prefer to trade for like the high dollar stuff, or just try to find it in the wild. I don't know. Or, you know, a good way to do to get the really expensive stuff is to try to buy up a whole collection. Because often you'll get, once you kind of price it all out, like that one high dollar record comes down to like $4, $5, depending on how much that collection was. So I've gotten some really valuable stuff that way, just because I buy in bulk. So I think that really helps. So congrats on starting a vinyl channel. That's awesome. Record spinner. Josh asked what receiver this is. This is a CR620. I actually have another one of these. They're okay. I wish I knew more about how to properly clean these, because this one, the left channel tends to go out, but only, you know what, that could actually be this record player. I think I need to replace all the RCA connections on it. I think those have gone bad. Who in my opinion is the best band or artist from the city you are from? That's what Paris asks. That's a great question. I am from Santa Cruz, and Camper Van Beethoven, I think that's how you say their name. They're originally from there, so in some ways I guess Cracker was born from that. And then what's his face was born there. He just passed away, actually. The singer from Stone Temple Pilots. I think he was actually born in Santa Cruz. But some bands I really liked from Santa Cruz would be The Call. They didn't really hit it that big, but the frontman for The Call, his son is the frontman for Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys knew that. And I also really like Slow Gherkin, but they were just a ska band that never really got that big. They were on Asian Man Records. Let's see. Favorite Mono Beatles album. Ooh, favorite Mono Beatles album. I don't know if I have a favorite. That's a Beatle Guy 828 question. Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Paris, that Revolver. I'd go with Revolver in mono. So Kurt, you're asking about the old episodes that were on Blip. You can't find one or two? I believe everything that was on Blip is on YouTube. I uploaded them at the same time, so they should be up there. Do you know what you could be missing, what you're not seeing? Because it could be the case that I've unlisted a video. I sometimes do that, especially the really old stuff. So if you know what you're thinking that's not up there, let me know. Write it in comments. The Crazy Cow asks, can I think of any electronic music artist that benefits from the warm vinyl sound? I'm not very good with electronic music. I'll say that right off the bat. But I think, honestly, especially if you're talking about like digital instruments, I think most artists will benefit from that kind of smoothing that happens with converting it to analog. I just think, I can't think of an artist that would hurt it, other than like really bass heavy tracks where you want to feel that bass, because the record can't accurately reproduce that feeling. It's just, maybe you could raise the bass on your receiver, but I don't know if that's going to really equate to the same. It's going to sound different. So maybe like bass heavy dance tracks won't sound great on vinyl. But again, I don't know. That's not my specialty. I don't know. Gotta refresh this thing. Maybe I can change some settings in here so this doesn't. Oh, that's fine, Kurt. I was just curious. You said you might be mistaken. I can't imagine I can't imagine I would have deleted something other than like some contest or something. So Paris says Kraftwerk definitely benefits from being on vinyl. So Josh, you want to know what's better, Ram by Paul McCartney or Imagine by John Lennon? That is a really good, hard question because I feel like in some respects those are both like, could be seen as the best solo efforts by both Beatles. So really to put them against each other, it's like trying to pick which child you love more. I don't know if I have a favorite right off the bat here. What am I drinking? That's a great question. That guy with spoons. This is I made this on a previous live stream. It's a version of the Navy Grog, but it's got Fernet Branca in it and grapefruit. It's really good. It's a bit different than your average Navy Grog, but I can post the recipe, I suppose. I don't know. If you guys are interested, I can post it. Let me know. Oh, this, by the way, is a Don Ho glass. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. You can see a picture of him. I'm not a huge fan of Don Ho, but I like what he represents. Okay, so if you guys want to see the recipe, I will type it into here because I don't think I can post a picture in there. Aw, come on. I'm trying to use this iPad and it keeps shutting off on me. I think I have to switch my settings here. Michael, I have not checked out any albums from Ween yet, unfortunately. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll do this. This might be easier. Maybe. Let me try to look for it. Pardon me while I'm on my phone here. Maybe this is it? Yeah, if I would just post a link, it might be easier. No, that's not going to be the recipe. Damn it. Okay. All right, I'll just have to manually type it in. This is kind of annoying. Jeffrey, I didn't. That's a very specific timestamp. 1974 to 1975 era of Miles Davis. I'm pretty ignorant with Davis. I don't really know that specific era of him. I like jazz a lot. I'm not an expert in it. So let's see if I can type this in. All right. Do I have any cocktail advice? What kind of cocktail advice do you want, Benjamin? That I do know about. All right, who is Run Rig? I don't know them. Thoughts on Tame Impala? Tame Impala, I feel like they're a band I'm pre-programmed to absolutely adore, but I'm working on a review of Currents, and I'm finding that as much as I like it, I don't love it, and I feel like it's maybe a little too perfect. Like I feel it's so like refined that it's not that interesting in some respects, because there is no like room, there's not a lot of room for spontaneity, or there's no like outside input from other people. It's just literally, I forget his name, but it's literally just him in a room, and I don't know, it's kind of made in a vacuum. So I haven't completely made up all my thoughts yet. I like Tame Impala a lot. I I don't know if they're my favorite band. It's interesting. Oh, I'm just typing in this recipe right now, so forgive me. Oh yeah, do you guys say Impala or Impala? Because I grew up always saying Impala because of the car, the Chevy Impala, but I don't know. Some people say Impala. So is it Tame Impala or Tame Impala? Let me know what you guys think. 3/4. Ah. Impala? You guys say Impala. Impala. Okay. Yeah, that feels right to me, but some people, I don't know. I don't ever harp on anyone for saying it the other way, but I am notorious for saying things wrong. Oh, this is getting good now. Burp. And then 2 ounces rum, Myers or Coruba. Shake with crushed ice and serve. Okay. I kind of made some spelling mistakes, but that's all right. How do I get rid of this? All right. 1 second. Flipping the record over. Oh, come on. What are we doing here? Okay, sorry, I missed some comments here. Forgive me. Thoughts on Doolittle by the Pixies? I don't have a lot of thoughts on that. Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure how to say your name, McSweeney here, but when trying to get into an artist you have never heard before, would you first listen to a compilation of albums or go for one of the original albums? Does genre count when making this decision? You know, I used to always go for like the best of, and that was because I was a kid or a teenager and didn't have a lot of money, and I figured that was your most bang for your buck. But now I realize that doesn't really give you a good sense of the artist. So now what I do is like I try to see what is like the pivotal album, or like what was the breakthrough, you know, and like a little bit of research can tell you that. I mean, and then I'll pick up that album and kind of go from there. And I don't really think it matters that much in terms of genre, unless it's like an artist who really didn't put out albums. Like artists from the 40s and 50s and before, they were mostly making singles. So like in that instance, for those people, I would probably just pick up a compilation. Like, you know, if you wanted to really get into the early work of Frank Sinatra with Tommy Dorsey, I would just pick up a comp album, because I think that will give you a good selection. Because otherwise, you just have to pick up like 78 singles, not singles that are on, you know, 78. That's what I meant. Alex asks, is Damn Kendrick Lamar's best album? I don't know. I think it's really good, but from what I've gleaned from the general consensus, it is not his best. It is damn good. Pardon my pun. It is damn good, but I have a feeling I may not think that in the end. Well, you're thank you, McRide. I appreciate that. The original being asked, what albums would I recommend if someone wants to get into music of the 90s? And by that, I am assuming like alternative music, because there was a lot of great 90s R&B and rap and electronic music. So, and obviously alternative. Like to me, when I think of the 90s, I naturally gravitate towards, you know, stuff like Smashing Pumpkins, Collective Soul, Soundgarden, Radiohead, obviously. So stuff like that. Or obviously Weezer. So like I love those kind of things. So the Blue Album, Pinkerton, those are great ones. Siamese Dream, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Those are great albums to pick up. I think it's Super Unknown, the Soundgarden album. That's a fantastic one. You know, but I also, at that time, I also got into Ace of Base. Like, I really liked Ace of Base. But, you know, they're 90s, but I don't feel like people really talk about them too often. Then they were, like, borderline cheesy. Like, they almost got, like, they were almost too, like, they were almost uncool in a way. Like, a little too dance clubby. What else would I recommend? I'm sure you guys have a great things to recommend here. Yeah, Nirvana's Nevermind, of course, and In Utero. Yeah, 10 by Pearl Jam. You know, I'm not as big of a fan of Pearl Jam as I think other people my age. I don't know. I like Eddie Vedder and I like their sound, but they didn't quite hit the mark with me the way that Weezer did. Oh, Throwing Copper by Live. I forgot about them. Yeah, I had that album. Oh, you got into Loveless recently, and it doesn't sound mega 90s to me. Oh, okay, interesting. You know, I'm not too keen. I don't really know much about the Four Freshmen or the Magnetic Fields. Oh, that's great, Beth. You liked Ace of Base too. That's awesome. Yeah, Airplane Over the Seas, another great 90s record. Man, that thing got me through college. I love that album. Of course, I heard it after. Is it 90s or am I just smoking a bowl here? I'm so confused. But regardless, I found that album kind of way after the fact in college. So great. Philip wants to know my opinion on Gish, which is the debut album of Smashing Pumpkins. And to be honest, I don't know it very well. I know a couple of singles, but I just skipped it over. I never got into it, so I don't know it. Wait, Carly Rae Jepsen does 80s throwback pop? Oh, I guess so. If you think of her like Tiffany, sure. What do I think of her? You know, she annoys me probably the least of kind of current pop music, but it's not something I actively listen to. No, I'm not smoking a bowl. I don't even really like to smoke, to be honest. I'd much rather have an edible. What do I think about System of a Down? Jammy Gaming asks. You know, that's interesting. They were another one of those bands I only really listened to on the radio, and I liked what they played, but I never went out and bought an album or listened to an album of theirs. I really liked their energy, and the music videos I thought were amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I should probably go back and listen to some of them. Is there an album I think is underrated or overrated? I always get crap for this because in the vinyl community, the vinyl collecting world, obviously everyone knows In the Court of the Crimson King, but I feel like it's in the general population, in like you interview Joe Schmo, he can go on about Hendrix, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, but he'll probably draw a blank when it comes to King Crimson. And I feel like most people, men and women, young people included, I feel like that's a band you kind of discover once you kind of dive into it. And maybe you find out about it through Kanye West. I don't really know, but I feel like that it's well known. See, that's such a conundrum, and I know you guys are gonna give me shit for this, but I just feel like in the Court of the Crimson King, most people don't know it. Most people walking down the street, but obviously people who love music know about it. It's this weird conundrum I feel like it's in. Same thing with love. I personally had that experience with love. Like I had known some of the music of Love, but I didn't really know Forever Changes until I bought a copy of it, and people laughed at me essentially because I didn't know what I had. And it is one of the best albums ever, but I think that's another one of those bands that, people will know the Velvet Underground before they know who Love is. They'll know who The Doors is before they know who Love was. So I just find it interesting. Oh, Johnny asked a great question about what do I think about the early 2000s sound. I was enamored with that era. Like, I was so stoked because that was the first time in my life I felt like I was ahead of the curve, where I was on the cusp of new music, and it was like all directed towards me and my peers, and we were just like young adults and just like eating it up. So like, yeah, the Strokes were amazing, the Von Blondies, the Kills, was that part of them? Not the Veils, but the who were the guys that wore like suits and stuff? I forget who they were. Anyway, all those bands. I thought that whole movement was so cool because you have to remember too, we were coming off the heels of bands like Limp Bizkit and bands and Korn. No offense to Korn people, but like it got a bit much, and it was nice to kind of go back to some roots, some sort of like just general rock stuff. And yeah, there was a lot of fluff out there. There's one song that's in my head that was very catchy that I can't even think of the name of it, but it was such a fun period for music, and the Hives. Thank you guys. Yes, the Hives. Love the Hives. Thoughts on Stray Cats? You know, it's so funny, Tattles. The Stray Cats was a band that I was sort of influenced by those around me who thought they were uncool. So I just didn't listen to them because I thought, oh, well, my friends think they're uncool, so I'm not going to listen to them. But then after I kind of got away from that circle of friends, I discovered the Stray Cats primarily because I liked Brian Setzer Orchestra. And then I was like, what was I missing? This is phenomenal music. I even went as far back as to check out their very early, like their earliest demos back before they were the Stray Cats. I forget what they were even called back then, but I think Brian Setzer's brother was in the band. It was a 4-piece. That was amazing. But really, what it is, I am very jealous of Brian Setzer. That man can sing. He can play guitar like nobody's business. It's amazing. I mean, it's such a. And they came out right at the right time, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they could have, I don't know if they would have done it today. I don't know if they would have been as successful. I think in the 80s, there was just something about nostalgia for the 50s. Maybe because of Back to the Future, I don't know, but it just worked. Yeah, Paris, I hear you. Eddie Cochran is awesome. I love Eddie Cochran. But if for nothing else, Brian Setzer's guitar playing is on another level. I mean, Eddie Cochran laid the ground roots, and they highly respect Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent and all those cats. But there is something to be gleaned from Brian Setzer. I would say just give it a chance, man. What country would I most like to visit? Ooh, that's a good one. I would love to go back to the UK. I'd love to go back to England, maybe check out Scotland, and just kind of explore over there. Germany would be cool. and other places in Eastern Europe. I think I would enjoy that, and ultimately I would love to go to Japan too. I think that would be a blast. Oh, I know the original being keeps asking me about Definitely Maybe or What's the Story Morning Glory, and honest, I can't really give you an answer because I don't know either album well enough. I remember What's the Story Morning Glory so vividly because I was actually in Europe when that album dropped, and that music was everywhere. I was inundated with it. I couldn't turn on the TV without seeing a music video by them. So I have like a real fondness for that album in particular, but I haven't I haven't heard Definitely Maybe, so I'll have to put a pin in that one. I'll come back to that. I will answer that at some point. Nice. Yeah, Eddie Cochran, man. Tattle says that they love Eddie Cochran, bro. And yeah, I mean, he gave Elvis a run for his money. I mean, if he didn't, who knows what would have happened if he didn't pass away as soon as he did. It's kind of sad. Do I like the Strokes? Yeah, I like the Strokes. There was a time when I didn't like the Strokes because I think they were way too popular and I just sort of shunned them, but now I don't care. I mean, I really liked This Is It. I didn't really get into their albums too much because at that time I wasn't buying a lot of music and I was just trying to figure out my place in the world. But I'd like to go back and listen to more of that stuff. Oh man, Yes No asks about Spiderland by Slint, and I own it. I bought it and I've been listening to it. I don't know, man. I keep expecting something amazing to happen with that album, and I enjoy it. I don't know. I feel like I should like it more for some reason. I'm not a fan of the singer's voice. I don't know. I guess I don't understand it yet. Do I have a favorite Hendrix album? Yeah. Are we talking about the ones he released when he was alive? Well, I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, I really liked Are You Experienced, but I think Axis Bold as Love, probably my favorite. Oh, what's up? That guy with the spoons. You're in Sweden. That's awesome. I would love to go there too as well. If you were to start a band, what kind of music would you play? You know, I did the band thing. It was a time in my life, and I realized the touring is what kills me. I don't think I could. I'm not a very good tourer. I like being at home. I would actually love to be a producer. Be a record producer. I love being in the recording studio. I love the feeling of recording studios. That would be a blast for me. So I'd love to be, I mean, if I could be like Rick Rubin, I mean, that would be amazing. I don't know if that's in the cards, but that's something I would really enjoy. But music right now, if I'm to honestly answer that question, I'd probably do something in the vein of like shoegaze, lo-fi, kind of folk inspired, maybe something like that. I don't know, chill music. What is my favorite Radiohead album? I would say conservatively right now it would be OK Computer, but I'm winding my way through their discography. I've kind of jumped around a lot, so for right now, OK Computer, but that could probably change. I really like Kid A. I'm not going to say Pablo Honey, but I would love to do a review on that one just because it is so interesting to see where they started. What instruments do I play? Well, that's a very good question, Alex. I play guitar mostly, and I can kind of get away with playing ukulele, but I don't say I can play it. I own one though. And I used to play trumpet. I used to think I was going to be a trumpeter because I was really into Wynton Marsalis and Louis Armstrong, but It's not me, man. I wish it could have been. Yeah, Michael, you asked if I checked out A Crow Looked at Me. Oh man, that one is it's not raw. Raw's not the right word, but it's so like pure. It's just like pure emotion, feeling, and not like all the way completely sad, but it was very it was just pure expression, and I really enjoyed it. It didn't make my top 10, but yeah, wow, that was an experience. Do I know of the band Sigur Rós? I do know the band, I just don't know how to say their name. Yeah, man, they were a band. I don't know if some of you remember this or not, but between like, I don't know, like 2005 and 2012, there was a period where artists would give away singles, like MP3 downloads for free. And it was legal, like it was a way of promoting. Like a lot of times you'd give them an email address and they'd give you a download code for a song. And so that band, Sigur Rós, is how I found out about them, because I was like, oh, here's some free music from this band I've never heard of, and I thought they were amazing. I didn't understand what they were saying. So yeah, I totally like them. Again, I've never bought one of their albums because of that. So yeah. Have I heard of the band Have a Nice Life? No, I don't know them. Debut album, Death Consciousness. Okay, Have a Nice Life. I'll check them out. How long have I been collecting? That's a great question, Beth. I've been collecting, I feel like I've been collecting all my life, but I haven't. I think I forget what I said in my video, my collecting journey, but I believe I started in, well, I guess elementary school, but I didn't quite get into vinyl until junior high. So I was probably, I don't know how old, like 11 or 12. And some of my first records were Gold and Platinum, or Platinum and Gold by Leonard Skinner. Obviously the Weird Al albums. And I got a UK import of U2's Boy, because I really liked U2 at that time as well. I'm gonna add this band, Have a Nice Life. I will check them out. Did the band you were in record or write any songs, or was it just a cover band? The original Being asks. Yeah, the band was called the Keen Cousins, and yeah, I didn't per se write a lot of the music. My buddy Phil did. I'm gonna type in the band name. You guys, there's still a MySpace page of it, but I actually have CDs. If you want, you can, I don't know, send me your address or send me a message, and I can send some out. Or I could upload it on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know what the best thing to do is. Hang on one second, guys. I have to move this. I hate how I can't. Let me see if I. There we go. There we go. Perfect. How do I feel about the War on Drugs? I really like the War on Drugs. I love the sound they make, man. There's something about it. It gets under my skin, and it just makes me feel good. That guy with the spoons asks if I could win any award. What award would I choose? Oh, man. I don't know. It's been so long since I've really thought about. I used to fantasize about going to the Oscars and stuff. But I mean, I guess the only one I really think about is the. It's so silly. But the, you know, when you get like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, they give you a little plaque with a silver play button. like that would be cool. You know, that would be like an accomplishment. Like that would be nice. And I've seen one. I actually went to the YouTube studios here in LA and I saw like a gold one. I think that's for $1 million maybe. I don't really know. And yeah, it's cool. You know, it's cool, but it's just, you know, I don't know. Again, yeah, I think if you're only thinking of awards when you do creative projects, you're kind of in the wrong business. But okay. Thoughts on reel to reel? Pineapple Squid asks. You guys know that pineapple? What's that video? Video's terrible. Pineapple pin? Oh, anyway. I already forgot what the question is. Oh, thoughts on reel to reel. Distracted myself. You know, I've always wanted to get into reel to reel. It's just, it's so darn expensive, and I never came across an affordable player that actually worked, and so I just sort of let it go. But from what I understand, the sound quality is phenomenal, but it really depends on the era of music that you're buying. So like Techmoan actually did a great explainer on all of this. He talked about new releases on analog tape, on I think it's quarter-inch tape. And from what he said is like stuff in the 80s, the quality was really bad. Like I think the speed was really slow, or I forget. But the stuff from the 50s is amazing. But there are companies that make new, not pressings, I don't know what you call it, new recordings on tape. But they're very expensive. I never got into it, man. I don't know. Vinyl's pricey enough as it is. I should do a video about the Keen Cousins, brief history or fondest memories, the original being. Oh man, you know what would be fun is to get Phil on here. He was my better half in that band, and that would be fun to kind of maybe do a live stream on that, or I don't know. He's kind of camera shy though, oddly enough. So I don't know if he would do it. Also, he lives up in Santa Cruz, so we have, you know, quite a distance between us. But yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know how many people would really care though, other than like a handful. What's my thoughts on the recent emergence of trap? Okay, from what I understand of some trap that I've heard, I really don't enjoy it. It feels like someone kicked a Discman down the stairs and it's constantly skipping. I don't understand what musical value there is. But that's just me. I mean, I'm sure there are great trap examples out there. I just haven't heard them. And the stuff that I have heard, I would rather hear cats meowing at all hours of the night. What jazz album do I recommend for someone to get into jazz on a whole? You know, Kind of Blue, I would say, is a great one. Miles Davis, John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. I think that's the name of the album. I really like that one. I would get into some. See, I like the 50s era jazz, because technically a lot of the swing music was considered, in some respects, jazz music, and there's some roots of jazz in swing era music, and a lot of the great jazz artists kind of came out of that era, so like there's that too. Gosh, there's, you know, the problem is I can't think of this stuff off the top of my head, but what else do I mean, you guys will probably have a bunch of great comments on that. You know, I don't really know who Gentle Giant is. Isn't Gentle Giant, is that a band, or are they, I feel like they make stuff, don't they? Isn't there a company that makes stuff? I don't know, Damaged Bug. Okay, Dave. Oh, of course, Dave Brubeck. Thank you. Take 5, Ben. Thank you. Take 5 by Dave Brubeck. Fantastic. That's one of my favorites. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Josh says Days Before Rodeo by Rodeo. I don't know that. My favorite Beatle, I always go back to George Harrison. Thoughts on Alt J? That's so funny. I thought Alt J was like a hip hop artist, but it's not. It's a band, and they're I don't know what you classify them as, but I really like Alt J. I'm gonna flip this over here. Actually, put on the new record. Oh, it comes. That's cool. I really like this, by the way. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this as much as some of his other stuff, but yeah, Bitches Brew, really cool. This is like a new pressing. This isn't vintage or anything. I'm not sure what era. Let's see. It's on Sony Legacy. 2015. So if you guys want to see the gatefold there, it's on this flimsy cardstock. I don't know what the original was like. Man, that is a cool cover, huh? Look at that. Let me make sure that's not glaring on you guys. Okay. Oslin, you just picked up a fretless bass. That's awesome. That's really cool, man. I'm assuming it's like an electric bass, no frets, right? That's really cool. I love bass. I think bass is really my instrument. I think I'm a much better bass player than I am a guitarist. I just never picked one up. Oh, Damaged Bug is a solo project of John Dyer, the frontman for, I don't know how to say his last name. What would I say about Bill Evans? Oh, Bill Evans. Shoot. I think I know Bill Evans. I don't know why his name's escaping me right now. My favorite band. Oh, man, you guys, that's a hard question. My favorite band of all time. I'm gonna see what Bill Evans looks like. You know, I always say Weezer just because they were such a profound thing for me when I was growing up. Oh yeah, Bill Evans, he's great. I didn't realize. People always say I look more like Chet Baker. Would ever consider doing a live album review? Yeah, of course. I don't. I think one album like Kiss Alive, I think it's a lot of interest for me to cover. So yeah, I'd totally cover a live album. Oh, you're a guitarist, Austin. Okay, what's your guitar? What ones do you have? Malik asks if I've listened to Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick, and I haven't yet, but that is on my list to do this year. I actually bought into Amazon Music. I don't know if you guys do that or if you guys do Spotify. I did like the 3-month trial. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with Amazon Music. I don't like how there's a lot of times with track breaks, like sometimes there's a seamless track break. Well, Amazon Music, I think it doesn't preload the next song, so there's an audible break, and it drives me nuts. Any ideas on the next giveaway? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue to do Pick of the Week, but I also picked up a book. It's by Goldmine. It's all about record collecting. I think it's a great book, so I'm going to give that away. I'm going to give away 5 copies of that. Oh, that's a great question. Massive Car Crash asks, do I ever get tired and jaded of music? Considering we are so exposed to music everywhere all the time, would it be nice to take a week off from music and come back with fresh ears? You know what? I do that pretty much every day, and I totally feel I don't get tired as much as I don't get jaded, never jaded. If anything, I get depressed because I can't hear it all. I can't hear it all the time, and there's so much I'm missing. Like I just taped my top 10 of 2017, and there's so many records I missed. Like I was changing my top 10 up to the last minute. I was like, oh, there's this great album I missed, Cigarettes After Sex. Like I had never heard of this band, and they're amazing, you know? And that's the part that drives me nuts. Like it's not so much I get jaded, it's the fact that now that music is so easy to, when you could only have like 14 CDs and you would listen to Weezer or whatever over and over again. I don't have that, so like at most I get to listen to something once, maybe twice, and then I got to move on to the next thing. So there's that part, and then the other part is I do take a break from music, especially in the car, and I'll listen to talk radio, mostly NPR, and just to kind of like figure out like local, especially local NPR, like what's going on in LA, like what's happening here. And it kind of like tunes my brain off. I get, I don't have to focus so much on music, which then I can come back home and then really listen to music again. So I feel like that helps me a lot. And sometimes I'll just put on the classical station and just kind of tune out, zone out, sort of meditate in a way, and not really think about, is this cool or not? It's just classical music, right? Did I receive a copy of Fiona Apple's Tidal or Gorillaz Demon Days through Vinyl Me Please? That's Michael asks that. No, I don't. I'm not a member anymore, so I don't even know what they're doing over there. But those are great albums for sure. Do I listen to video game music on vinyl? No, I don't. There hasn't been. Yeah, there just hasn't been a particular release that has one that I've really wanted to pick up. But there's some amazing stuff that's out there that I Am 8-Bit's doing, and other people. I think Mondo releases some of their stuff through a separate label. But yeah, there's some great stuff. I just, it's just certain things. Like if they did a Capcom Nintendo compilation, like stuff from Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, like I might listen to that, but those songs are kind of short. What I would buy is the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. I used to own it on CD, and I think I would like to have that on vinyl. That would be cool, but I don't know if Nintendo will ever do that. Would I consider myself an audiophile? Without looking up the word, I should probably look it up. I don't think I am an audiophile. I don't think so, because I'm not really that picky. To me, it's more about listening to the music, however you can get it. I'm not so... Yeah, see, I'm more of a music lover than an audiophile. But that being said, I feel like every year my ears are getting better and I'm able to pick up on more stuff. So I'm always kind of reevaluating proper sound reproduction. It's like a continual educational, self-educating course that I'm doing. And I've reached out to some like high-end audio shops, and I will eventually get together and like go down that path more, at the very least for my own experience. But it's not something like I don't think I'm not trained enough to really call myself an audiophile. Like I would like to at some point really understand it all and really hear it and just appreciate all types of sound reproduction. But for right now, I don't. I'm an audiophile in training, maybe. Yeah, have I ever heard of Tool? Yeah, of course I have. Yeah, Tool is great. I haven't listened to an album of theirs. Can I review the Stone Roses first album? Yeah, that's definitely on my to-do list. Alex asked if I'm a fan of the Killers. Yeah, I mean, I like the Killers. I love their first album. That came out at a time when I was just in love with the scene, the indie pop, indie rock scene. Like them and Franz Ferdinand, I feel like came out around the same time. And I really like both of those bands. But after their first album, I kind of I got preoccupied with life stuff, so I kind of didn't continue to listen to them. Am I a fan of Jethro Tull? Absolutely. I used to think Jethro Tull was a person. I used to think it was Jethro, and his last name was Tull. Same with Leonard Skinner. I was probably a wee lad of 11 or 12 when I realized my mistake. So Yes No asks, what's an album you bought on vinyl and appreciated it in a different way than I would have? I just lost where it went. Okay, I guess you retracted it. Sorry. Do I have a copy of Gish by Smashing Pumpkins? No, but I need it. I need a copy of it. Thoughts on Daft Punk's motion picture soundtrack for Tron Legacy? I thought it was amazing. I love that. I love that soundtrack. I actually bought it on CD at a thrift store for $1. Like, I think they overproduced that album, and over-manufactured it, and I would just play it in my car at night, driving around LA. It just like, I felt like I was in Tron. Like it was so cool. I love the blend of the orchestral score with Daft Punk's electronic stuff. Just that blend, so good, so good. Do I think vinyl is overpriced? That's a great question, that guy with spoons. It can be, but a lot of the stuff from repressings from albums from the 80s that are being repressed for like $20, like Madonna and Huey Lewis and stuff, like that stuff's overpriced. Like, I know it costs a lot to make vinyl, but just go buy a near mint copy. Like, they made so much stuff. They made so many records from the 80s. Like, they're widely available in great condition. But like this album, you can get the Mobile Fidelity version, and it's like $56. Like, that's the cheapest you'll find it. I think that's a lot of money until you consider all the work that goes into it. So, no, I think it really depends on the release and who's releasing it, and if you're into it. Like, I think if it's an album you love, I think owning it, like a $30 vinyl record, is fine. But I think stuff like Justin Bieber on vinyl might be way overpriced and not necessary. Can I make an album review on Black Sabbath? Yeah, I mean, what else would you like? I mean, I did Paranoid. I could do others. I could do their review, or not the review, their debut. That'd be great. Thoughts on Lana Del Rey ripping off Radiohead's Creep? What do you mean? How did she rip it off? Like, not even a cover, just like a straight up melody ripoff? I don't know the Black Keys, El Camino. Can I dab so hard it changed the Earth's rotation? I don't think I can. No. I could try. I'd probably give myself a bloody nose. So that's a great question the Record Spinner asks. When it comes to reissuing older items, when it comes to reissuing older albums, are you against the process of digitizing the original analog tape to make the lacquers? You know, if it was like, if it was made between like, you know, the early 60s and the early 80s, yeah, I mean, I think unless like the original source tape is badly damaged for some reason, I think it's kind of an unnecessary step. I feel like that's what I really appreciated about the Beatles mono reissues. Apart from Please Please Me, they were all like direct analog masters. Like, they took it from the original source tape and they pressed it on vinyl. I don't believe there was any digital steps taken. So that being said, you know, it's not going to stop me from buying a record if that's the process. Especially if something's really expensive otherwise. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to hear the difference. I think what matters more is the compression that they use, is how is it mastered. Like, I think you can, and you guys can correct me, but I think you can take an analog source and you can fuck with you can add all kinds of compression to it, raise the levels up. You can still do all that in analog and press that to vinyl, and it probably won't sound as good as a digitally sourced master that's been properly mastered to vinyl with better compression, like with less compression, more room, more dynamic range. I think that record can sound better. Whether it sounds better than like an original issue, I don't know. That's up for debate, man. But it's not going to stop me from buying one. Yeah, I'll definitely do LA Woman. That's a highly requested album. Will I see any Michael Jackson reviews? Oh, definitely. Totally. I mean, I love Michael Jackson. Oh, is there any album not available on vinyl that you would love to have on vinyl? For Dat Foe, it would be Ground Up by Snarky Puppy. Yeah, I mean, recently I got Off the Deep End by Weird Al on vinyl, and it was never really available on vinyl before. There's probably stuff from, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of stuff is available now. Like, there was a point when I first started this channel where a lot of stuff wasn't available yet. But, you know, and some stuff just isn't meant to be on vinyl. Like, there's a lot of hip-hop music that it's really hard to put it on vinyl, to break it up. Like, he's not even hip-hop. What's his name? Flying Lotus. Like, a lot of his stuff, the vinyl experience it almost takes away from his music, because so much of it needs to be listened to it all the way through. Thoughts on Lord's Melodrama. You know, I checked her out. I checked out the album, and you know, I would like it more, but what I realize is I don't really like the way she sings. Like, she's got sort of this kind of thing going on, like this. It's like the style of the way she's singing, the way she's enunciating. I don't like it. It's kind of it's almost like baby talk, but not like Jessica Simpson's singing style or Britney Spears' style of singing, but it's like her own way of singing, and it just turns me off, man. Like, it's a little too stylistic for me. So, but musically, production-wise, I thought it was great. Again, her voice was turning me off. Yeah, of course I know Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. I have two albums by him. Great stuff. How should how should you approach listening to Bitches Brew? I like Miles Davis, but Bitches Brew has never gotten my love. Really? I'd like to know why. Like, what is it about this that you don't like? Because I find it captivating. Like, it's I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, man. What's up, Madoushi? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Am I a member of online music communities like Rate Your Music, Sputnik Music, Album of the Year? No. The only one I'm on is Discogs. I'm not sure about those other sites. I guess I could check them out. Did I check out Utopia by Bjork? Yeah, it was great. I I loved it the first time I heard it. Second pass, I still really liked it, but it didn't make my top 10, but I really enjoyed it. I like her view on things, her quirky sense of who she is. I like it. You know, I don't really know MF Doom very well, but what I've heard of, I like. I don't know Eugene Landy. I have to look into that. Do I currently have any monthly vinyl subscriptions? I do not, but I've been contacted by this company out of the UK called The Herd, and we'll see. I might end up working with them or not. I don't know. I got one of their releases. I'll check it out, see if I like it. No, I think In the Wake of Poseidon is very much comes off the heels of In the Court of the Crimson King. I feel like they're very much companion albums. I don't think you're strange in that. Oh yeah, Bowie's birthday is coming up. Really, you think we're gonna get an unreleased song by him? That would be cool. Yeah, I got plans to do more Beatles stuff. I want to do a video on my version of a single record release of the White Album, and I also have plans to do an addendum to my Abbey Road review where I talk specifically about the end, because a lot of people have commented that I kind of went over that too quickly and I didn't talk about the solos, the guitar solos on that track. So yeah, I do have plans to do that, as well as some versus UK versus USA, and you know, my plan is to finish out all the Beatles albums and then do like best to worst or worst to best. I mean, I think Beatles is like an endless subject. You could, I mean, there's people out there who literally do nothing but Beatles channels, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like there's a lot of great music, and I want to try to cover a little bit of everything, something old, something new. Favorite Prince album? I really like, I think Sign of the Times is my favorite, along with Planet Earth, and then Purple Rain. Is there a message limit? I don't think so, but I think there's a limit to the number of characters you can write. Thoughts on Everything Will Be Alright in the End by Weezer? Totally. I really liked that. I liked that and the White Album a lot. I think I liked the White Album more, but I really enjoyed Everything Will Be Alright in the End. I didn't exactly like Pacific Daydream that much, so I'm looking forward to, what is it, the Black Album that's coming out this year? I forget. What do I think of John and Yoko's experimental albums? For example, the Wedding album, where there's just like moaning and calling out. I have the, what's the blue, it's got a cloud, it's a blue sky with a cloud on it. I forget the Plastic Ono Band. That thing is so weird. My dad used to play that for me. He's like, listen to how weird this is. So I kind of have a fondness for that particular album, but I don't really like it. I think I'm sure it was interesting for them to do, but I don't like listening to it. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta pull this back up again. Oh, come on. There we go. Man, this is a great album. Where are we here? Oh yeah, thanks. Will I be making any album or any reviews in the style of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon? Yeah, I'm totally open to doing something like that. It's just not totally possible to do right now. the way things are because I am kind of doing this channel on my own. I don't really have any help, so it's just me running the cameras and the sound and the lights and everything. But my buddy Josh, I think once he kind of, if he's back in town, we might plan something like that. Part of it too, excuse me, is that it's helpful to have someone else write that with me. I kind of tried that with my Halloween special, I think for 2014. That one was fun to do, but it took so much time and not a lot of people watched it. And I think part of that is because I chose an album no one cared about. But it was, you know, it was an album that I could really play with the music because I had the permission to use the music. So yeah, I mean, I personally would love to do something like that again. It's just, it's not totally feasible because I have so many other things I'm trying to do at the same time. It's hard to devote any time to something like that. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, no asked if I've ever bought an album on vinyl and then appreciated it differently. I think I had that experience with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and Weezer's Blue Album. I felt it sounded very different on vinyl. It was a different experience. And there's other examples. I can't think of them at the moment. Am I gonna do a review on Johnny Cash Folsom Prison Blues? Oh, you mean the live album at Folsom Prison? You know, that might be a good live album to cover. That would be good. But I keep a tally of what people suggest, so yeah, totally. Which is better, Pinkerton or the Blue Album? Oh man, it's always going to be the Blue Album for me because that's the first one, and I have so many memories here listening to that album, like at parties, on my own, in the car. I love Pinkerton, but it holds a different space in my heart. So yeah, it's always going to be Blue Album first. Have I heard of Sparkle Horse? No. Whoa, come back. Who do I think are the best lyricists nowadays? I am the worst person to ask because I lyrics always come second to me. I'm always listening to the music, not so much what they're saying. How do I feel about Greta Van Fleet and their Led Zeppelin sound? Well, you kind of just summed it up. They sound like Led Zeppelin. I feel like give them another album and maybe some more time on the road, and they'll kind of develop. They'll go in their own direction. But yeah, at this point, I think for how young they are, they're incredibly talented, and they're latching on to something. They're sort of imitating, and I think a lot of young bands kind of do that, and then they kind of find their own niche. And I feel like they could I feel like they'll do that. It's just right now they don't have a lot of interest for me because like I would rather just go listen to Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah, Timothy wants to know what kind of speaker, turntable, and receiver. So in the vinyl pad here, it's Sansui speakers and a Yamaha YP211 turntable with a Yamaha CR620 receiver. And it does okay. It's all right. I definitely want to upgrade the turntable's internal wires. I think they're a bit frayed, for lack of a better term. Have you heard any 2018 albums worth a shot? I have not, man. I just got done listening to 2017 albums. I have yet to check out what's out. I mean, I don't even know what's out yet. We're like, how many days? We're in 7 days into the year. what's my most underrated record I own? Well, you know, I think you guys can disagree, but I think I don't really know how underrated he is, but like Esquivel I feel like he's definitely underrated. Arthur Lyman, I don't know. So the problem with Arthur Lyman is that he I don't know if he really has a best album, because he'll have some great songs and then he'll throw in some random marching band song done in Exotica style, and it just ruins the whole album for me. But I would say Arthur Lyman definitely is underappreciated. And there's an album by, oh God, what's his name? Mel Hinkey. That's amazing. I forget what it's even called. He only put out one album, I believe, but that one I feel like people who know it, it's highly coveted. I even talked about it on an Awesome Finds episode because I finally picked it up, but most people don't know about it. I think it's fantastic. Craig Willis asks if I'm going to review any Michael Jackson this year. I may get to it. I don't know. It just depends on the interest. Like if you guys vote it up, sure, I'll probably cover it. We'll see. Have you thought about doing a video where you go through your vinyl collection? Yeah, totally. I have plans to do that. It's just my collection is in boxes and in shelves and like laying around in different corners of my house. So I don't have a great place to show it off yet, but that is my plan. I'm gonna be building some record racks, almost like a store in a way. I totally changed the design idea, so we're gonna have like record bins that you can flip through. So that's the idea. And once that's up, gonna totally do that. So Wesley asks, what is the worst record collecting mistake you have ever made? Thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate that. I've definitely overpaid for records before. One of the ones I got was, gosh, when was that? Back in, I gotta look it up now. So Elvis Presley had a box set that came out in the UK. I'm trying to find it real quick, guys. And it was, see if I can even find it. Anyway, so it was a box set that came out in the UK, I think around like 2006 or so. And what it was, the first record came out. So basically, it was all of the #1 hits in the UK by Elvis on 10-inch records. So they were replicas of the original 7-inch records. And the first one came in the collector's box. And then every week, they released a new 10-inch that you had to buy. So like the box set you had to collect over time, and it was one of those things where I knew someone in the UK, and I was like, ooh, I really want this, and so my friend got his friend to get it for us. He actually got a couple, and I didn't understand how much it was going to cost. It ended up costing with shipping like $300 for this 19-piece set box set of Elvis singles. I've never listened to it, and after, like, I felt obligated to buy it because like I had asked for it. I didn't realize how much it was going to cost, and I was like, why did I spend this much money on this stupid box set? It's not even worth that now, I don't think. I think you can find it for way less than I definitely paid for it. I mean, shipping, it's kind of heavy, but yeah, that was stupid. What else have I done? Like, I've bought records, like I bought stuff offline, like online auctions, and like the record you know, like Goodwill auctions. There's a Goodwill auction site. You can't really return that stuff. And like I bought one record and it was like a chip in it, or I've paid like good money for stuff and I found out later that it's all warped. It drives me nuts. Yeah. But other than that, I've been pretty good. Like I tend to have learned from my mistakes. Like I'll do like a real quick, you know, just kind of do that when I'm checking. I'll check like what's the average price on Discogs before I buy. Like that's been really helpful. Cause sometimes stuff isn't like, especially since the internet, like there was a time when like Big Al's Record Barn, a big store in San Jose, that I did an episode on, his prices were all over the map. Like he really took the gold mine price guide to heart, and he would like he'd price all his records at the near mint value, even if they weren't that. Like Elvis records have really gone down in value quite a bit. I think that's partly because they're so plentiful, but also the music on there is not that great, and a lot of the hardcore Elvis collectors they're passing away. So there's just been like a glut of Elvis records. So yeah, I've definitely gotten better when it comes to collecting. You want to see the rest of the set? Okay, yeah, we could do that. It's not really set up that best. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm not taking off my shirt, guys. Don't worry. But I kind of have. Let's see. I can spin this around a little bit. So, what are you looking at here? So this is the back side. There's some storage back here, and I just set up this. I have a bunch of records in here in these boxes I'm gonna go through. There's some speakers there, a tripod. There's like another light up there, and stuff like that. And then yeah, there's the bar set. Hang on one second. Yeah, so there's the bar right there. There's the cameras that I normally use. I'm gonna have to spin it back because this setup, I'm gonna tangle up the wires a little bit. All right, now I gotta reset my camera here. Where was I? I think that's good. There we go. All right. I thought maybe I had to take off my mic, but I guess I didn't have to. No, take it off. Right. You're funny. Well, thanks, Mads. Okay, so how good are Crossley turntables compared to my setup? Oh, does that even look good? Sorry. Let me readjust this a little bit. There we go. I think, is that better? That should be better. It doesn't even matter if it's Crossley or not. Like most record players, I should tilt that down a little bit. See what happens. This is not an ideal setup. So yeah, like most record players that have a built-in speaker are not going to sound good. It's kind of how it is. But there is one model of Crossley that I think is okay. It's let me see if I can find it. It looks like a I don't even know what it is. What genres do I think translate best and worst on vinyl? Well, best, I mean, I think rock music, classic rock, jazz, classical. I think worst is like kind of modern music if they don't if they're making a really long album. It's like frustrating to have an album split on 2 or 3 discs. That's really annoying. What else? It's just funny because, like, I would say electronic music, but not really, because like that was like the bread and butter for a lot of like vinyl makers in the 90s was like house music. So I wouldn't say that. Let's see. What else sounds? Yeah, so just like stuff that doesn't take in consideration putting out on vinyl initially. I would say, like, in some ways hip hop music, and maybe some new rock stuff. Yeah, I still have the U-turn Orbit turntable. I have that in the house upstairs. So yeah, yeah, Crossley makes some better stuff, man. Like, once you get above $200 range, their stuff is decent. If you go to their website, you can sort by price, and they have one that's like almost $500, another one that's over $500. But you know, if you're gonna spend that much money, I think you're better off getting I can't even. Why can't I think of there's better players out there, I think. I mean, I think if you're going to spend that much money on a Crossley, you might as well put that into like a music hall or a Riga or like a U-turn audio. That's what I think, man. Yeah, exactly what. Yeah, that's one you can. Yeah, exactly. Dat Foe says the Crossley C10A. I mean, it's a lot of money for a Crossley. Like, I haven't seen them in person, so I can't recommend them. I don't know what the build quality is like, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's. I think they get a bad rap for good reason, but they also do have some decent players. I don't know if I have a favorite Deep Purple album. I have to look at their discography to really say. Do I prefer live or studio albums? I prefer studio albums for the most part, but I do appreciate albums that were kind of recorded live in the studio. If that makes any sense, like. It wasn't like over rehearsed. I mean, they were rehearsed, but like they're like the band, like they laid down a scratch track and they were all there together playing. Like, I like that kind of stuff. But there's like some exceptions. Like Ella Fitzgerald does some really cool live stuff, and I think jazz has some great live stuff. But like for rock music and stuff, unless I'm a huge fan of the artist, I don't really care. Have I thought about getting the Gramavox vertical turntable? You know, I was in talks to review that product, but it never came to fruition, and I am not gonna go spend that much money on a turntable myself. For a turntable like that, I really don't care that much about it. Techmoan did a great review on it. I highly suggest watching his video. But it's a gimmick, right? It's kind of a gimmicky product. I think it's cool in a set. It'd be very cool to have on display, but for practicality, I don't think it's that great. Am I into the Beastie Boys? Oh yeah, totally. I like the Beastie Boys a lot. I'm not a huge fan of theirs, and I didn't really. I think the last album I really got into was Hello Nasty. But in high school, I did a lip sync to Beastie Boys. They were a fun band. Let me look up Deep Purple here. If I see the album cover, I could tell you what album it is. But man, they put out a lot of stuff. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I like Deep Purple. But admittedly, I am now realizing I don't really know them as well as I thought I did, because holy crap, they have a lot of releases. I'm just aware of their early stuff. And I'm looking at their album covers here to try to tell you what it is I might know. What am I even under right now? I'm on Discogs, by the way. Oh, I'm under singles, that's why. Am I into hip-hop music? Yeah, I think I am. Like, I used to not think that, but since starting this channel, there's some great albums out there. It's pretty amazing. I know this is so riveting watching me on my phone right now. Favorite bass players of all time? I mean, I don't know. I really like The Flea. Isn't the... I don't know. What's the guy from Primus? He's a bass player, right? Damn. Oh, Burn. That's the album I was thinking of. Burn and Machine Head. I like those albums. Those are the only albums I really know by them. And maybe Shades of Deep Purple. That's kind of it, though. I think those are the only ones. Yes, Les Claypool. Thank you. What streaming service do I use? Are you talking about like right now? What am I streaming with? Or like at home to watch movies? I'm not sure what you mean, Tom. Top 3 albums of 2017. I have a video coming out probably on Tuesday where I will cover that, so you guys can watch it then. My favorite Metallica album. I don't have one yet, because I need to listen to. There's a few I need to still listen to. Drinks running a little low here. Are you guys drinking anything? Am I just drinking alone? What is thoughts on Mu/Core? What does that mean? Oh, whenever I stream music. Oh, okay, Tom. Yeah, I use Amazon Music now. And on occasion, they don't have everything. I'm starting to realize. And on occasion, I will have to pop over to Spotify. But right now, I don't have an account. I don't have an unlimited account with Spotify, just a free account. So I tend to just go over to Amazon Music. But those were very useful tools to have when I was making my 2017 thing, because I couldn't get a hold of all that vinyl. You were drinking taro bubble tea. All right. That's good, Josh. Oh. Huh. Okay. What is my preferred listening drink? I drink a lot of water. So I know it's a lame answer. But you know, I really like rum in general, so any sort of rum cocktail or rum on its own, perfect for me. Average hours I listen daily. It really varies. It depends if I'm in the office a lot or if I'm out and about running errands. But I mean, it's at least 2 to 3 albums a day, maybe. So I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe more. I don't know. I never thought about it that way. So Juho Karin, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, man, but I really appreciate your donation. Well, what are my favorite live performances of all time? Well, I'm gonna answer this 2 ways. So the first way is like live shows that I've been to, so concerts. So one of my first concerts was seeing Weird Al, and it was amazing because I got super close. I even got his autograph after the show, and he just put on an amazing show, and the musicianship was so good that like it sounded almost exactly like he does on the recording. Like it was amazing. That's record. Another great experience was seeing Asleep at the Wheel. I saw them open for Bob Dylan, and they were again phenomenal. I just had never heard of Western swing music, and here's this band full of energy. They looked like old timers, but they had so much energy. It was amazing. There we go. There we go. Little DJ Shadow for you guys. Hope you enjoy that. So yeah, that's the first part. I would say. Sorry, this is distracting. So like favorite live performances. One of my favorites is Ella Fitzgerald doing Max a Knife when she forgets the lyrics and just starts improvising. That to me is amazing. That's a record. Obviously, I wasn't there. That was a recording. And then also like I want you to want me, the Cheap Trick, the live in Tokyo. Like that's amazing. That's amazing to me. That just the quality of that sound. I'm trying to think what else. Probably more will come to me, but that's a great question. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. What's my all-time favorite record and why? Craig asks. I feel like I answer this a lot, but for right now, it's Weezer's Blue Album, and it's like the first album I felt was my own. Like I chose that album. My friends recommended it, and that music video for Buddy Holly just blew me away. And so it marks a transition into adulthood in a way. Like it marked my puberty in a way. That sounds weird, but you know, when you're a kid, so much of your music is sort of told to you like what you should listen to or influence. But to me, Weezer was like the first time like I'm gonna pick this band, and it was the first CD I got. But Michael has a couple of questions here. Would ever consider doing a review of Illmatic? Yeah, isn't that the Nas album, I think? And then he also asked, what are my thoughts on music critics like Anthony Fontano? So, you know, what's interesting is, but even before I started this channel, I never really understood music criticism when I would read it. Like, I didn't understand how... like I would read a review, but I never really got a sense of the music. Like, okay, but is it good or is it bad? Do you like it? What does it sound like? It just always felt so in the head, so cerebral, so like dissecting all the different parts and like what does it mean kind of a thing, to where I don't know, I was always left scratching my head like, this is a review? Like it almost felt like the reviewer wanted to, you know, write some really pretty words and have like a really profound observation on the music, as opposed to like just review the album, man. What is it about? Like I always found movie reviews a little easier to digest. So that being said, the Needle Drop, Anthony Fontano, I sort of watched his reviews when I first started my channel. And occasionally I'll go back to kind of see what he thinks on a certain thing. And, you know, I admire what he's built. I mean, he's a legitimate music critic. What's funny is that I didn't start out trying to be a music critic. Like I still kind of don't think I have very interesting views. Like I don't think, I'm always kind of surprised like people care about what I have to say. It's great, but it's just one of those things, like, but the more I've done this channel, the more I've been comfortable giving an opinion, giving if I think it's good or bad, and always backing it up with something, not just saying, oh, it sucks, and not saying why. It's always important to say why, because otherwise you open yourself up to like criticism of your own. But if you say why you didn't like something, people are less, they're more apt to respect your opinion, even if they don't agree with you. So I had to learn that along the way. So yeah, I don't actively watch him. I don't watch a lot of other music reviewers because I don't want their opinions to kind of change my opinion. So I don't have a lot to say. Maybe you have something specific you want me to touch on. Maybe I can answer that. But do I think I might do a review on any Iron Maiden albums? Yeah, there's one that's high on the list that I probably will cover. Oh, you added a Imager Gallery titles? I guess I could check that out. Imager Gallery. You're drinking Tang. Nice, Craig. You're drinking Powerade. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Edislicio Alonso. Sorry, I can't say your name, man. I'm sorry. Have I listened to Lemonade yet? No, I haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't. Well, thank you, Wesley. I appreciate you coming here from the OK Computer Review. By all means, Bullseye Crash, light up away. Have I heard Frank Ocean's Blonde? No, I haven't. I haven't listened to that yet. There was a question up here that I missed that I want to... thoughts on King Gizzard? I am so impressed that they actually followed through and released 5 albums last year. That's pretty amazing. That being said, I definitely have my favorite of the 5, and I felt like the 5th one was more of a compilation than an album, but I mean, technically it's an album. So what is my opinion on hipsters collecting vinyl? Taylor asks. That's a great question. I guess it's how you define hipsters, man. I mean, I think we all have to start somewhere. I guess what I have a problem with is people buying vinyl. I really don't have a problem with it, I guess. I think it's great that people are experiencing vinyl music. It's definitely a fad for some people. I hope the market still stays steady. I hope there's not a sharp decline, because I remember times when like no one collected vinyl, and it was cool to pick up stuff for cheap, but it wasn't that fun. Like, all the vinyl collectors were all older than me, or they were just like, I don't know, yeah, they're all pretty much older than me. So like, I don't try to rain on anyone's parade, but I guess what I have a problem with is elitism in any genre, in any sort of collecting field. Like, I'm better than you because I own such and such record and you don't. That's what I have a problem with. It's not so much people like young people jumping on to vinyl because they think it's cool, because I think vinyl collecting is cool, and if that helps you get into music, and I think that's great. But again, like I said, I have a problem with people being elitist and like, shaming people. I want to welcome everyone. I mean, even if you like to collect music I don't like, I think, why not? I think we all have something in common, and we should embrace that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What? Beyonce's dropping a new album? Dang, man. It's so hard to keep up with stuff. Anthony Fontano gave My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a 6 out of 10. What are my thoughts on it? Well, Josh, I don't want to disappoint you, but I haven't really listened to it. I don't know. I don't like giving albums scores. I also try not to, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel I don't know. I do want to check it out though. Am I gonna review Marvin Gaye's What's Going On? Of course, Craig. I love that album. That's been on my list to do since I started this channel. It's one of my favorites. I found out about King Gizzard through this channel. I just want to say thanks for the content. Well, you're very welcome, Cube G1. That's awesome. You found out. That's really cool, man. I found out about King Gizzard through this channel as well because of you guys. That's so cool. Do I watch Twin Peaks? Yes, I watched Twin Peaks. I watched the original and I watched the recent return, which I didn't really care for. Do you have a problem with people who don't listen to their vinyl just collect them? You know, I haven't run into those people. I have to assume those people exist here on YouTube. I think it's weird because, well, I can see some people collecting it as like an investment maybe, and they want to keep their collection pristine. And if you're doing that, you should just play the stock market, because to me, and I've always felt this, like, to me, this is how I like to explore music. I mean, look at this, right? The cover, you just like buying stuff because it looks interesting, or if you remember your buddy had an album that you want to pick up, and it's all about dropping this needle, right? And listening to this music. Like that to me what it's all about. And if you're just collecting it as an art piece to hang on your wall, inherently, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but just collect posters or just, I don't know, support the artist by buying a t-shirt. Ultimately, you can do whatever you want, right? Really. So I just think it's odd because personally, I hate things that just sit on a shelf. I like things that do something. Like, I can drink out of this glass. Yes, some people collect glasses just to collect them. And some people just collect little figurines just to sit on a shelf, like those vinyl dolls. But to me, I like to use the things I collect, and that's what I love about vinyl, is that it's artwork, but it's also tangible music. You can drop. It's interactive, and that's the whole point of it. And if you just collect it just to have it sit there, I don't know. I think there's other things you could be spending your money on, but whatever. I'm not gonna harp on you for doing that. This is a little weird, man. Do I enjoy They Might Be Giants? Yes. Whoa, we're getting a lot of questions here. Sorry. A friend of mine just sent me Bob James 1 in the mail. He recommends it for the hip hop samples that have been used, which are very recognizable. Huh, Bob James. I don't know that. Thank you very much, John Parson. What cartridge is on my turntable? I always forget. It's a Shure. I always forget which one this is. It's like an M97, I think. I think that's what it is. What is it? Let me look at it. Perfect. Yeah, M97XE is what's on this turntable. I also have an Audio-Technica one on the one in my office, and I have a Grotto Black on my U-Turn Orbit audio turntable. Oh, dang it. Come down. Come down. There we go. I don't really like automatic turntables, to be honest, guys. Any thoughts on krautrock rock genre? It's something that I need to get into because I know I'm going to love it. So that's my thoughts on it. Oh, really? You have the 95. Nice. I haven't. I highly recommend the 97. I think it's great. Have I listened to any other Queens of the Stone Age albums besides Villains? No, I have not, unfortunately. Songs for the Deaf. I'm not sure what you mean, Oslin. Maybe that wasn't directed towards me. So I listened to the Finnish rock band Him. Yes, Peter, yes. There is a movie that Bam Margenta put out a long time ago, and he heavily features Him, and that's when I first heard about that band. Tree Man, what movie did you see me in? I'm kind of curious now. Oh, is this copy old or new? This is a reissue, yeah. This is from, I think, a couple of years ago. I'm not sure exactly when this was pressed. But yeah, I needed it. I needed a copy for my Radiohead review, and I went with the easiest option. What's my favorite Beatles song? Probably My Guitar Gently Weeps. And my favorite Beatles album. Oh, that's a tough one. Maybe the White Album, but don't quote me on that one. My favorite Weezer album, yeah, definitely is the Blue Album, for sure. Oh, how many records do I buy per week? Ruben asks. It can vary, man. Sometimes it's only like 1 or 2 records, and then other times like I'll answer a Craigslist ad and I'll buy like 35, 40 records in one go. I feel like every week though I tend to pick up at least 1 record, if not 10. So I have a huge backlog of records I'm listening to that I picked up on a whim. Like I don't even know what's on it. I never even heard of the band, but I'm gonna check it out. What albums am I most looking forward to this year? Voodoo Child, I don't even know what's coming out this year. I've been so focused on making my top 10 for 2017. I haven't even looked at the calendar yet. But I'm sure there's gonna be some great stuff. I should look it up actually. What are some of yours? Actually list out some of your, at least one record you're looking forward to. Have I listened to any of the Sublime albums? Not really. I just kind of listened to them on the radio and let that be. I didn't really get enamored by them. They're not like a band I really had to check out. Have I ever tried some post-rock? Any thoughts? Yeah, you know, that's a genre I don't understand. I don't understand what post-rock is, and that's my own ignorance. It's a genre I don't understand. Like, I don't understand that title. I kind of understand post-punk, like after 1977 or 78 or something. Nicki Minaj is releasing her secret project this year. That's awesome. Tool's new album? No way. Vampire Weekend's got a new one. That's awesome. Do I stay away from picture discs? For the most part, yes. Yeah, I think I'll put it this way. I look at picture discs as they're display pieces. They're not something I really want to go play. And that's purely based on the way they used to make picture discs, and the vinyl was very thin, so they had a lot of noise. And also they just hide imperfections really well. So you don't, like, a record could look really great, but then you play it and it sounds like crap. That being said, I hear that newer picture discs are better, but I don't know. All I have is that one Batman one that was sent to me. Did I own a Sony Walkman as a kid? Of course I did. I would borrow, actually, I didn't actually own it. My mom owned it. I just borrowed it from her. Ty Segall has a new album? That's crazy, man. Any chance you've listened to Yes, Fragile or Close to the Edge? Yeah, of course. Fragile, fantastic, and I just picked up Close to the Edge, so I don't have thoughts on that yet, but awesome. Okay, so Tattles, that's a great list. So Can, Faust, and Amon Dole 2 are great out. Okay, great. I'll check them out. Whoa. What's my favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper album? I really like Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Amazing album. Really? Thanks for V for volts. I'm not ignorant if I don't understand post-rock. I don't understand the label. What inspired you to create this channel? That's a great question, David. I kind of covered this in my and I've covered it before, but basically, I am an actor here in LA, and part of that is being out of work about 95% of the time. So you're just sitting around waiting for a phone call, like, hey, and often, you know, you're going on auditions and you don't hear anything, and it's kind of a process to where getting a part is like winning the lottery, both in the feeling that you get and also the odds. Like it's crap odds. So I was driving from LA up to Santa Cruz, which is like a 5.5-hour trip, and I was lost in my thoughts. And at that time, this was 2010, and I was really inspired by that guy with the glasses, Angry Video Game Nerd, the NES punk, Pat Contry, what's his name? Yeah. And, you know, I was inspired by all these guys. Also, what's his name? Doesn't matter. Moving on. And I was like, I want to do something like that, but I don't want to do video games or movies. I should do records because I love collecting vinyl. And so that's kind of how it started. It was an outlet. It still is an outlet, a creative outlet for me to kind of be out there on camera and having fun, basically. What's the most expensive piece of equipment in my setup? What's up, Sandwich God 75? Most expensive piece of equipment, not counting all my cameras, I would say, you know, this receiver is like a $200 receiver if it's in good working condition. This turntable, probably $150. So yeah, probably this receiver. Maybe the speakers. I don't know. I would eventually like to upgrade all of this equipment and have, like, you know, it'd be great if there was a modern receiver that had vintage looks. Like, there's turntables that do that, but not receivers or amps. Like, that would be really cool. What is my real name again? It is Eric Calero. I can type that in. Do I have any records that I played to death as a kid? Definitely the Weird Al stuff. I totally played that to death. Dare to Be Stupid especially. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, thank you. The motion graphics are nice. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Have I listened to any Julie Cruz albums? I want to. I listened to that one album she put out with David Lynch. That's fantastic. My favorite sci-fi series, I love Star Trek The Next Generation. I look like a James. Well, my middle name is Joseph, if that helps. Rarest record I own. I own a Beatles Butcher cover. It's a paste over though. It's not, it hasn't been peeled. Someone's tried to start peeling it, but yeah, I have a paste over Beatles yesterday and today. Do I have any underrated bands besides Not a Surf you feel deserve more attention? I kind of covered that earlier, Max, but I feel like, I would say in general, I feel like Exotica is a pretty underappreciated genre, but I understand why most people don't enjoy it, but I love it. Am I familiar with the microphones? No, I don't know that. Oh, that's interesting. It's the original title of Mount Erie Oh, okay. And their album is called The Glow Part 2. Definitely one you should check out. Okay, cool. What's the heaviest band that I'm into? Well, how do you define heavy? Are you talking about like heavy metal? Huh. That's a great question. Do I play guitar often? You know, the heaviest band, I have to be honest, I'm not really into like heavy music. So when I listen to heavy music, it definitely is I go out of my way to do that. But I really like stuff from the 80s, like hair metal, hair bands. I like Metallica. I like stuff like that. I like, yeah, I don't know if Metallica is really considered heavy. I don't know. They're considered thrash. Do I play guitar? You know, I've since the end of June, I haven't really played my guitar much at all, and I really need to get back into that, and get back into singing too. I've been, I don't know, I just kind of took a break. Things got busy, and I was traveling a lot, so yeah, I should get back into that. Oh, so are we going to see Professor Watson and Auntie Vinyl again? Auntie Vinyl, probably not. The actor lives in Florida. But Professor Watson still is here, and I plan on getting him on the show for a live stream. But I wanted to write a part for him for the OK Computer episode, but the episode was getting so long, and to write a whole nother piece on the Apple Macintosh computer, the voice, it was like a little too much for me. But yeah, I do plan on bringing him back, definitely. Connor asks, when did I become a serious record collector? And that's such a funny question, because this show, like, I thought I had a pretty decent collection before this show, but since I started this show, I realized I have huge gaps in both my musical knowledge and my own personal collection. Like, there is music out there that is considered classic that I had never heard of. So I would say since 2011, like, that's when my collection probably tripled. It started to triple, and by like 2014, it had probably quadrupled. And that's purely from just like buying and exploring, buying for the show, and then buying for my own education, man. Pretty crazy. I'm going to check out The Glow Part 2 here. I'm going to add it to my list here. I don't think I have a favorite Gorillaz album or song. Yeah, Craig, I will definitely do a review on All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. Would I consider doing comedy albums like George Carlin, Richard Pryor? No, well, I take that back. The only reason I said no is because real early on when I started this channel, I used to, I did The Hobbit, which is spoken word, and I thought, and that was when I used to play the music underneath my talking, and it just was too conflicting. But, you know, now how I do reviews, that's not really a problem. However, it's kind of outside the scope of what I'm doing. It's music reviews is what I'm doing. So like if it falls into that category, I would certainly do that. But at this point, I don't know if I'm gonna do stand-up routines, like pure stand-up routines. Oh, I just lost my, hang on guys, my thing had to refresh here, my chat. All right, here we go. Whoa, okay, okay. Okay, my chat is totally refreshing itself, and it's like going back several, several chats ago. Okay, it is still refreshing itself. Was I into comics or manga when I was young? No, I was not. And that's the thing. Like, I don't understand all these superhero movies that are coming out. Like, I understand, like, it's probably amazing if you're a fan of comics, but I am not, unfortunately. Like, I kind of tried to get into Superman because Superman died, or that whole series came out, and I don't know. It wasn't. I liked cartoons. I didn't understand comic books. But, you know, I would get into a graphic novel nowadays, though, for sure. There we go. Angus asks if I'm going to be doing more classic album reviews. And yeah, that's my new plan for this year, 2018, is do like one newer album and then do a classic album. So I just did OK Computer, so the next one will be Rolling Stones, and then I'll do like Tame Impala. So I'm gonna be like alternating between that, and I think that will keep I'll keep everyone happier, because I feel like half of the fan base really likes new stuff, and half of you guys really like classic stuff. So like Beatles, for instance. So that's kind of my new plan. I hope you guys like that. Yeah, I have a Discogs account. It is the Vinyl Geek. Are you gonna review the Smile album finally, or Neutral Milk Hotel? You know, I just picked up a copy of Smiley Smile, and I've never seen that in the wild. I got it for $10. I thought it was a steal. So yeah, I definitely want to do something with that. That will certainly be one of my classic reviews that I go into. So I'll certainly cover the Smile Sessions, that really cool box set, as well as Smiley Smile, the actual you know, of its time release. Clearly not what Brian Wilson intended, but that was what came out of those sessions at that time. That's really all we knew beyond bootlegs of what it would sound like. Yeah, Kurt, I don't really know what this gold record is. I got it off eBay. Someone vacuum metallized the record. I should play it someday. I'm sure it sounds like crap, but I should try it with a crappy needle. I'll try that sometime. Actually listen to it. Have I heard of Weird Paul? No. I plan on reviewing their Satanic Majesty's Request by the Rolling Stones. Have I ever heard of Synthesia? No. What is my favorite movie soundtrack? That's a good question. I don't know, man. I really like Blade Runner. I have to think about that one. Nothing really jumps out at the top of my head right now. I really like the soundtrack to Legend, actually, the American release. Would I might review Jim Morrison American Prayer? Sure. David, you want to know how I clean my records? I did a video on it. I haven't really strayed much from that, but basically I use a spin clean, and then I use a record doctor to take away all the liquid off the record. And then in between, I just use a duster. I use like a anti-static duster. Will I review any of the Wilco albums? Yeah, I think so. I should definitely do that. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate the feedback on reviewing both old and new albums. Yeah, favorite Ringo or favorite Beatles solo album other than Ringo. Yeah, I really like. Paul has this one album. It's not Ram. I just always blank on which one it is. In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, overrated or a great classic? I love that song. I think it's been overplayed. I don't think it's overrated. I think the drumming has been highly overrated though, that drum part. But man, watch Miami Vice, that pilot episode. So cool. So cool. What? It's been confirmed that Giles Martin will be remixing the Beatles' White Album for its 50th anniversary in 2008. Will I be picking up a copy later in the year? Of course I'll be picking up a copy. But what are the details? What do we know? Is it going to be the mono or the stereo? I mean, I kind of want to... I'm sure it's going to be stereo, but that's an interesting question, man. I kind of want to know the details. Like, what is there to remix about it? I mean, it made sense for Sgt. Pepper's. Am I going to be reviewing any Rush albums this year? I don't know about this year. It really depends on the feedback. I want to do more album reviews. Rush just doesn't get a lot of votes, so I don't know if I'll get there this year. So Angus wants to know when Auntie Vinyl's coming back, and Auntie Vinyl is gone indefinitely. The actor lives in Florida now, but he says he'll let me know anytime that he's back, but it's been a long time since he's been back. But Professor Watson will be reoccurring for sure. Where am I looking? I'm looking for Discogs. Here we go. I play guitar mostly, and I used to play trumpet. Here we go. Have I heard any Curtis Mayfield albums? Yeah, I have a couple. I just don't know where they are right now. Do you have a go-to whiskey brand? I like Bullet, but I mean, I like Bullet Bourbon. I don't know if you're considering bourbon. I don't know what kind of whiskey you're considering, John. Frank Zappa. Yeah, you know, I really like Mothers of Invention. I just don't know if I like Frank Zappa as a whole. Like I didn't realize how kind of like goofy he gets. Hot Buttered Soul by Isaac Hayes is fantastic. I love that record. Great album cover too. Oh, I think this is it. Let me see. Nope, that's not what it is. I'm trying to look up this Paul McCartney album that I really like. I mean, I like Band on the Run, but no, it's a different one, and I can't. It's the one with shoot, man. Is it McCartney 2? What's the one that's got the bowl of cherries on it? What album is that? I can't seem to find it. I can never think of the name of it. It could be his debut. What's that one called? Totally hypothetical. What I just lit a joint. What album do I put on? Oh man. Maybe The Chronic? Maybe some not Californication, but some Tupac maybe? Or Snoop Dogg. Maybe some Snoop Dogg. I don't know. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's his debut. It's called McCartney. Why is that not coming up? Yeah, I love that one. I like that one a lot. I don't play guitar as often as I'd like to. I think I need to get back to it. Okay, Tattles, thank you. It's called McCartney. That's so stupid. Why I can't remember that. But that I really like that. That's actually my dad's favorite by Paul McCartney. I'm totally spelling his name wrong. That's funny. Yeah, Jack. My favorite Beatle definitely is George Harrison. Wesley Clark. How do I store my records? Do I keep them in the original sleeves? You know, I do with these because I just picked these up and I haven't had a chance to you know, sleeve them correctly, at least in my opinion. But like this Father John Misty album, I'll show you. Like this is the original sleeve, right? But I actually keep the record in these. They're kind of. Ooh, that one got a little chewed up there. But they're like the rice paper like sleeves that Mobile Fidelity puts out. So I put them in these for the higher end records. Some of them I just put in paper sleeves. But yeah, but I don't often keep the record inside the original sleeves. Well, I know the Chronic is by Dr. Dre. I was just saying like Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg or yeah, one of those classic albums. Have I listened to any other Mac DeMarco other than this old dog? Yeah, I listened to 2. I think it's 2. And then the, what was the one he put out in 2016? The EP, I forget that one. Angus, yeah, I'm totally going to do a record collection video, like my own personal collection. I need to build my setup that will go behind on the other side of this camera. And once I build that setup, then I'll totally show it off. Do I have a favorite one-hit wonder? Yeah, Salad Days, thank you. That's the Mac DeMarco one, Salad Days. Or I think so. Well, I've listened to Salad Days as well. I like that one. My favorite one-hit wonder. I liked the one-hit wonder that was made for That Thing You Do with Tom Hanks. I love that. Have I listened to the Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane collaboration album? No, I haven't heard that one. Oh, another one. That's it. Yes, another one. That's the one from not last year, 2016. Mac DeMarco, another one. But Salad Days is great too. I like all of his stuff really. I love the Smiths. I really do. Every time I hear a new song from them, I mean, I know they're not new, they're just new to me, but every time because I'm still exploring their discography, it's just like, it's like a little gem, it's like a present every day, every time I hear a new song from them. Have I ever checked out Animal Collective? Yeah, but Merryweather Post Pavilion is one I know I need to get into. There's some amazing songs on there. Least favorite Beatles album? You know, maybe, does it even count? Hey Jude, does that even count as an album? I don't know if it does. It's more of a compilation. I don't like the track layout of that at all. I think that's just a compilation. I think people consider that a compilation. Let It Be is also not one of my favorites. I don't know. It's sort of a sour note to end on. It's sort of like their released album, even though I think Abbey Road was their last recorded. It's just, oh, I gotta flip this over. No, oh, come on. So I hate these automatic turntables. Like a little automation's okay. Like if it hits the end and goes back, I love that. But I hate this. I guess you can't have one without the other. What about the Yellow Submarine album? I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, you're right. It's not the best either. Whoa, that was a good question. Oh, come back. After celebrating its 50th anniversary, which album is better and why, based on your opinion? Pet Sounds or Sgt. Pepper? I think Sgt. Pepper is better because as much as I love Pet Sounds, Sgt. Pepper's is like, it's almost modern music, whereas Pet Sounds, as good as it is, it kind of is a product of its era. Not that Sgt. Pepper's isn't, but I feel like Sgt. Pepper's is just iconic. I mean, it was so influential, and Pet Sounds is a fantastic album, but I don't think most bands today, except for a few, really say, you know, Pet Sounds influenced them. I think a lot of people will name a song or an element from Sgt. Pepper's, and you know, that's a big influence. So I don't know. It's not a great answer. Ever heard of Junior Boys? Yeah, I totally like Junior Boys. Oh, have I ever heard Steely Dan's Aha? Yeah, I love that album. That's fantastic that you got to go see Brian Wilson perform Smile. That's great. Or sorry, oh, you saw him on, wait, was it Smile or Pet Sounds? Sorry, that comment just left. Oh, you got to see all of Pet Sounds. That's great. Have I ever checked out Making of Another One by Mark? No, I haven't seen that. Most underrated Beatles album. I think it's Beatles for Sale, in my opinion. Oh, most underrated. Yeah, that's such a funny question, because like they're all pretty highly touted, but yeah, you would have to go like pre-Revolver and find one from there. You know, I have to go back and re-listen to Beatles for Sale, but that's a great answer, actually. Yes, I do my own editing, Wesley. Thoughts on the debut Black Sabbath album? It's great. I love that. I love the first 4 Black Sabbath albums. Do I ever listen to the Shins? Not really. I liked them for a minute when they came out, but now, I don't know. Do I like Taxman by the Beatles? I like it enough. It's not my favorite by them. David Bowie's Hunky Dory or Heroes? I'm gonna go with Heroes. Well, no, Hunky Dory. Thoughts on Tom Waits? I really like him as an actor. Sometimes I feel like he gets a little too guttural and gravelly in his voice. Like, I know that's his shtick, but sometimes I feel like it's a bit too much. But yeah, he's cool. Thoughts on Leonard Cohen? You know, his stuff in the 80s kind of, I couldn't get into, but as an artist, as a poet, a singer, I really enjoy his work. Do I watch The Needle Drop? No, I don't. Not really. What do I think of the Logan Paul incident? Oh, man. You know, I didn't even know who Logan Paul was before that, so, I mean, no, all bad publicity is good publicity, right? But I'm not gonna go watch his channel. I mean, I think what he did, from what I heard, is pretty despicable, and it just sort of it bothers me a lot that, if anything, his channel is just gonna grow now, and it's just like, oh, I did this thing, I'm sorry, and that's it. It's just like I don't enjoy people like that. I wouldn't do that, and I don't think the way he did it was proper, and I think it's pretty disrespectful. You know, it's pretty naive and kind of thoughtless, really. But whatever. I mean, I don't really know him beyond what I read in the news. Yeah, John, that's a great point. His first two albums were less guttural. Yeah, you're right. I just meant like it later on. Tom Waits got real into that. Which Talking Heads song is your favorite? Your Jax's Life During Wartime. I always forget the name of it, but it's the one where he does this. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. Whatever that song is, I love that as a kid. Like, it always stuck with me. And the Psycho Killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Oh man, so good. The Damned is going to release a new album this year, and they're still on the 40th anniversary tour. Any plans to review some of their albums? You know what's funny, Halen, is that one of my good friends is good friends with Dave Vanian, and I've tried to get him on the show. And I should probably reach out to him, my friend again, to try to get him on the show, because that would be awesome. Prince Revolution versus Purple Rain. Wait, I'm confused what Revolution is. Was that an album? I don't know that. Yeah, Once in a Lifetime. Thank you. Water Flowing Underground. Yes. Do I think that Yoko Ono made the Beatles break up? No, I don't think so. I think they broke themselves up. I think if you watch the documentary 8 Days a Week by Ron Howard, it gives you a great understanding of how together those guys were. Like, they literally were together 24/7, and like, I think that gets to you a little bit. I think their egos, not everyone's ego, but I think egos were getting big, and I don't think it helped having, you know, I think John having Yoko come in without everyone's approval certainly didn't help, but that's more of a straw that broke the camel's back. The back was already stressed enough as it is. So yeah, I don't think she's to blame. I think if anything, the Beatles had run their course, unfortunately. Do I like Oasis? I do like Oasis. What's my opinion on Faith No More? You know, I actually have grown more fond of Faith No More. When I was younger, I did not like them. But yeah, I would pick up some records of theirs for sure. Am I a fan of Elvis Costello? Yeah, Costello, not Costella. Stella. Yeah, I like Elvis Costello. Thoughts on Rush as a band? I like Rush. I don't quite understand the fandom. Like, some people really love Rush, and I don't understand that. And maybe it's because I really need to like dive into their music. But I enjoy the singer's voice. I think it's very odd. But I like it. I don't know. I find them interesting. Same as it ever was. Have I listened to any early Pink Floyd? No, I need to, though. I need to get Pipers at the Gates of Dawn and the one that came after that. Thoughts on Liam or Noel Gallagher? I don't have many thoughts on either of them. I checked out either Liam's or Noel's new album, and it didn't necessarily win me over. It was okay, but I don't know if it's my thing, man. Do I have a favorite Tame Impala album? Impala album. Yeah, Currents. I would say Currents. I think the first two are great, but Currents just that perfect blend of R&B and electronics and the psychedelic. Just really cool stuff. I've been meaning to get into Camel. Yeah. Favorite female vocalist of all time would have to be Julie London. Love her. Have I gotten it in utero yet? No, I haven't. Yeah, I need to get Atomic Heart Mother, definitely. You know what, guys? I am gonna run to the restroom real quick if you guys can all hang on for a second. I'm gonna get some more water, and I'll be right back, and I'll leave you with some awesome DJ Shadow. So I'll be right back. Okay. All right. There we go. Favorite Stevie Wonder album. What's the one that's got the swirl in it? I forget which one that is. All right, how we looking here? Deep Purple is better than Led Zeppelin, and to be honest. Oh, really? Do I think the Strokes are going to put out a new album anytime soon? I don't know. So that's Songs in the Key of Life. Okay, what's the one that's got the it's like green with the Braille on the cover? What one's that? The Beatles or the Beach Boys? The Beatles. Do I like Fatboy Slim? I liked it. I liked him when he came out. I don't really listen to him now. Signed, Sealed, Delivered? Really? That's what that... No, that one's an old album. Have I listened to the band Ween? Not lately, no. Speakers or headphones for music listening? I prefer speakers, but there are times when headphones are awesome. There's definitely, it's a different experience. For like my favorite albums, I'll put the headphones on for sure. Favorite Sgt. Pepper's mustache? I think it might be John's. Let me look that up. Who has like the motorcycle one? No, I gotta look up a picture. Yeah. I think George, actually. George wears it pretty good. I like his. Have I seen The Last Jedi? I have not seen that film. I don't plan on seeing it anytime soon, to be honest. Have I listened to early Genesis with Peter Gabriel? You know, if I did, I wasn't aware he was in that. Inner Visions is the Stevie Wonder album? Yeah, I think it's Inner Visions, yeah. Did I notice that Paul is barefoot? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's one of those things that they see as evidence that Paul is dead. Tomorrow would have been Elvis Presley's 83rd birthday. What do you think of him personally as a musician, an actor, as a human being? I love his early work in the rockabilly realm when he first came out on Sun Records and then later RCA. As an actor, his stuff is pretty laughable. The 68 comeback special is pretty cool. And he definitely got better as a singer as he aged. As a person, I don't really know what he was like, but he seemed like a very generous dude, so I don't know. Well, thank you, Jorge. Favorite Police album? I like Ghost in the Machine, but what's the one with the different colors, the stripes of colors? I'm blanking on that name right now. That one's pretty good. Let me grab this. Is it Regatta de Blanc? I don't remember that. What is something you would like to change in the music industry of today? The loudness wars. Music has no dynamic range these days. Yeah, that's true. That is annoying. But I would like to see artists, you know, actually get paid. Hey guys, here's something for y'all. I picked up Polygon Wonderland. I can't even say it. The King Gizzard album. This is an early pressing on the ATO records. Do you guys want to listen to this? Let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear that. Or, I also have Genesis, Abacab. Or I have a couple of new records I never even heard before. This is these are new. This is Blind Idiot God with Undertow, and then I also have Azonic with The Prospect of the Deep Volume 1. So yeah, what do you guys feel like? Okay, you guys, am I gonna review Nevermind the Bollocks? Yeah, of course. That's a great album. Okay, so it feels like it's a little bit of Gizzard and a little bit of Genesis. I don't know, guys. You guys got to duke it out. All right, you know what I'll do? I'm going to put on Genesis as I open the King Gizzard. How about that? Okay? There we go. Now, I haven't cleaned this. Oh, this one's pretty dusty. I got to clean this off. All right, There we go. Here we go. Ugh. Where'd the comments go? Come back. There we go. What's my favorite free jazz album? I don't know what free jazz is. That's my problem. So this is an interesting pressing. It's on recycled vinyl, so every copy of it's a different color. Apparently, they only made 1,000 of them. But you know, I bought this and then I didn't realize that this was a free album. Like King Gizzard gave away this record that you could press your own. So had I known that, I probably wouldn't have bought this version of it because it's kind of boring, to be frank. So maybe I'll buy a different version of it. We'll see. But yeah, I mean that's all it is. It's just this cover. It's got the logo and it's hand numbered. Whatever. How long have I had this hairstyle? Kind of since 2000, so like 18 years. And yeah, when I go out, I'll comb it up, but if I'm just walking around the house, it's all disheveled. I have bedhead like crazy. I'll wear a hat to cover it up. My favorite movie is Big Trouble in Little China. Have I ever had to take a video down because of copyright infringement? Nothing's really been taken down as much as it's been like mutilated by YouTube computer algorithms. A good example of that is my Dark Side of the Moon and my early Beatles stuff gets muted or blocked. So I've learned to edit the music clips down so that doesn't happen. Oh, Sandwich God, we are listening to Genesis right here. It's not the cleanest record I own. All right, so take care, Tattles. Have I listened to any of John Carpenter's albums? Yeah, I checked out his first one. I enjoyed it a lot, but I found it a bit aimless at times. It just it sounds really cool, but it doesn't go anywhere. I don't know if that makes sense. What's up, Elmo? Golden Slumbers is my favorite. Can you imagine how amazing the White Album and Abbey Road would be with the real Paul? Be amazing. All right, take care, Jack. Another random question: How loud do you listen to music? You know, I don't know what the decibel number would be, but it's if I'm by myself, I like to crank it up, like in the car or something. But if I'm at home and other people are, like my wife's home or something, I don't have it up too loud. I have it loud enough. Yeah, I don't listen to music that loud, unfortunately. But yeah. Oh, Matthew, I don't know my most anticipated albums of 2018. I gotta look it up. Yeah, that's a great point, John. John Carpenter's music feels like it was meant for films he didn't make. Yeah, and he talks about that. Making those albums is so freeing for him because he's not constrained by hitting certain beats or having it to fit in a certain piece of edited film. But in some ways, I feel like that kind of creative limitation is really good for the creative mind. Let's see, 2018. Whoa, that's not right. 2018 albums. What's something I'm embarrassed of admitting I listened to when I was a kid? New Kids on the Block. What else? I listened to a lot of comedy stuff, like a lot of comedy records. I really liked Sting growing up, and Sade and Seal. I really like Seal. But yeah. Okay. Billy Joel or Elton John? My wife will kill me, but I'm gonna go with Elton John. She loves Billy Joel. What Genesis album from Duke to Invisible Touch is your favorite? I mean, I have a soft spot for Invisible Touch just because I grew up with that record. Oh, Kimbra has a new album coming out next year. That's cool. Niels Fromm has a new one. Tyler Siegel, okay. We read about that one. Justin Timberlake, all right. Opinion on Wham. Wham's all right. It's a fun 80s thing. My favorite guitarist. I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I really like Hendrix, but I feel like that's so cliche of an answer, you know? Franz Ferdinand, Dashboard Confessional. That's cool. Moby has a new one coming out this year. Judas Priest. Huh. Suicidal Tendencies, really? Let's see, what else is coming out? Godsmack has a new one? Get out of here. Echo and the Bunnymen, really? Owl City, huh. Crazy. Doesn't Weezer have something new coming out? Yeah, dude. Concerts, I always bring earplugs because they're always too loud. I don't understand it. It drives me nuts. The speakers are Sansui's. I don't remember the model. My favorite Queen album, I really like A Night at the Opera. Favorite Jimi Hendrix album would be Axis Bold as Love. Or Bold, well, I always mess that up. Oslin, you're talking about Weezer's Pacific Daydream. I did listen to it, and I enjoyed it. You know, Weezer, my wife put it great, but like, after Pinkerton, River stopped being sort of, not introverted, but sort of emotion driven, and just kind of wanted to write pop music. And so like, that's kind of been their trajectory. So, you know, listening to any Weezer album, you always have to go, well, you always have to take Blue Album and Pinkerton out of the equation and be like, okay, how does it fare with the rest of their stuff? And yeah, it's okay. I like the two albums before it. I really like the White Album and Everything Will Be Alright in the End. Favorite Elvis Costello album? I like My Aim Is True a lot. Favorite Joy Division album? Isn't there only two? I don't know which one is my favorite. I have to look at the track listings. I think, yeah, I don't know. Do I know Canned Heat? Yeah, dude. Carole King Tapestry Review. You know, I really like that album. I didn't think I would. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole new review on it, though. Unknown Pleasures, I think that's the one. I think that's my favorite by Joy Division. Favorite Doors album would be either their debut or LA Woman. Yeah, I don't know. Closer, I don't think I like as much as Unknown Pleasures. What do I think about the Velvet Underground? I like the Velvet Underground. I think they're great. Some people don't. I don't see why. I like just the idea, just as an art project, Andy Warhol making a band, you know? I think it's so cool. Favorite Styx record? I don't know if I have a favorite. Achtung Baby by U2. Oh, that's a great album, man. That's like their last really interesting record. I mean, to come to like have Joshua Tree and then, you know, they have Rattle and Hum, but whatever. And then to have Achtung Baby just to ring in the 90s. Oh, man. And, you know, in a lot of ways, I did like their subsequent albums. I did enjoy, what was it, Pop, and what was before the Zooropa? I liked both of those. Hey, you're welcome, Juho, or Yuho. I'm not sure how to say your name. How often do I stream? My plan is to do twice a month, like every other Sunday. I think that's good. I think an ultimate goal would be once a week, but we'll see. Do I like Muse? Yeah, I like Muse. The only thing I don't like about Muse is that he audibly breathes constantly in his singing, and it's just like he just takes in a lot of air, and it's like, oh, it's kind of a lot. Favorite punk band? Is Operation Ivy considered punk? I don't know. But I you know, if you're going like old school punk, I guess. I mean, I like The Damned and The Clash. Okay, Paul Butterfield's Blues Band. I haven't meaning to check that out. Is there a way where you can make a record? I'm not sure what you mean, Craig. There are services that will let you do one-offs. Like recordart.co, I think, is one of the services you can do. Do I like In Utero? I don't know. I think I do. I just haven't really listened to it. I know. I've been stuck on Nevermind. Favorite New Order album? Oh, that's a great question. I have to look at their records again. I go by the cover art. It's hard for me to remember all the names. I seem like I drive a 60s Cadillac. Oh man, I wouldn't mind a 60s Cadillac. I have at my parents' house, I have 57 Chevy. I love that car. Let's see here. I'm looking up. I like Technique and Brotherhood, but I think Power, Corruption, Lies, that's the album. Yeah, Power, Corruption, and Lies. That's probably my favorite. Is there a way to get skips out of a record? If it's just like dust and dirt embedded, if you clean it well, you could possibly, but if it's actually like, if you can feel it with your finger, like a scratch, then probably not. I don't know if I have a favorite double album. I mean, the White Album is probably considered my favorite double album. I'm trying to think what else. I should get Richard back on? I'll tell him. He feels really self-conscious, like you guys didn't like him. Do I think production can make or break an album? Absolutely. I think the record producer is a really important part of an album. I think sometimes a band needs that. I think some records, like self-produced with no input, can be good, can be great, but I think you kind of need that outside voice to help guide you. Favorite drummer? Before I get to that, like, I think stuff can also be overproduced. Like, there's way too much going on, and it just sounds like crap. I think a lot of pop music does that. Where do I get all those retro suits? Mostly from thrift stores is where I get them. Yeah. I don't really have a favorite drummer. I guess Dave Grohl is one of my favorite musicians, and he was a drummer. I don't know if you could still consider him a drummer, but I really like him. Bob Dylan reviews. I know I need to do some more Bob Dylan. That I will get to him. I like his songs. I just don't necessarily like it. I like it when other people cover his songs. I don't know. I don't love Bob Dylan. Hey, John J. Jr. Thank you very much. Oh, you know who else is a really good drummer is that tattoo guy from Blink-182. What's his name? He was in the Aquabats for an album. He's great. What's your favorite album packaging that you own? I really liked this Father John Misty. Hang on one second, guys. I thought this was amazing packaging. Just like it came with this booklet with some beautiful photography. But also it came with this device right here, right? Let me see if I'm doing this right. Yeah, so you put your phone in here like that, and then it acts as like a Google, not a Google Glass, but like a cardboard, Google Cardboard basically. And he released like 3D videos, like you can sit there and watch Childish Gambino live. Like I think that's really cool. But the music itself wasn't quite as cool, unfortunately. Like I liked it. I felt it was a bit derivative. Do I ever listen to music via streaming or CDs? Yeah. I mostly listen now to either vinyl or streaming, or I guess MP3. Well, I guess I kind of answered what did I think of Awaken My Love. You know, I'll give it some more time, but I didn't really know what to expect, but I didn't expect him to be kind of, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't understand what his voice was. Like it just sounded like, oh, you sound like Prince here. Oh, you sound like Rick James there. Do you ever get burnout listening to specific genres of music? Yeah, I think I did that with ska music. I got kind of, I got kind of over it. Do I ever plan on reviewing the songs of Smile? Totally, man. Yeah, I will. I want to do like a couple different videos on comparing Smiley Smile to the Smile Sessions, and then just specifically the Smile Sessions. Have I heard of the band Tool? Of course. Favorite rockabilly like artist? Probably the Johnny Burnett Trio. Do I like the Monkees? Yeah, I liked them more as a kid. I don't know if I really like them now. The best record store I've visited? Probably Amoeba Music. Granted, it's not all vinyl. It's like music and movies, but I just love how big it is. I miss those big stores. You just don't see them as much. Vinyl is too expensive in the UK for you to collect. I understand that, The Mysterious Night. If I wasn't doing this channel, I probably wouldn't have all that I have. But because like I talk about it and I want to have the music on hand, you know, I kind of need to get into it. But yeah, you know what I say to that is like, I know in the UK you guys have boot sales. If, you know, like start buying up collections for the 1 or 2 records that you want, and then take the records you don't and trade them into your local store. And that's a real great way to start building up credit to buy records you really want. Is there a record I'm tired of listening to? I would say U2 in general, I'm kind of done listening to. Like, I know the 30th anniversary of Joshua Tree was last year, but I did not listen to it once. One of your Sandwich God's favorite drummers is Gina Schnock from the Go-Go's. That's cool. Favorite rappers I enjoy. I like Tyler the Creator, Run the Jewels, Kendrick Lamar, I'm blanking on the other people. What's my advice for someone trying to start a band? Stupid fly. Do it because you love it and it's fun. And but honestly, it's just practice. You got to practice and practice and practice, and you have to be consumed by it, absorbed by it. And I think it helps if you're younger, honestly. Like, I couldn't see myself trying to start a band now. Well, I couldn't do this channel. I'd have to stop doing this channel. Yeah, you know, I play guitar, and I used to play trumpet, but not anymore. Do I have any favorite lesser-known 80s hits? For example, Beds Are Burning, Oh, Superman. Oh, yeah, that was a great song. I know I do. I can't think of them right now because I'm really bad with that sort of stuff off the cuff. Like, I'd have to look through my collection again. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play. You guys got a little bit of Genesis. I'm gonna have to kind of wrap things up for today, but I'm gonna play some new King Gizzard. This is the 4th album by them. It's a word I cannot say right now, and I don't even know what side is this. Side A. Okay. A little bit of schmutz. Merle Haggard. You know, I like Merle Haggard. He's a bit too. At least the stuff I know of his, it's a bit too 70s country, a little too much. But yeah, my favorite Johnny Cash song. I like his stuff from the Sun Records label. Probably, let's see. I have to look at the track listings again. It's probably something off of Black and Blue. I think that's the album. Now I'm blanking on it. What the heck is it? If I had to get one tattoo of a lyric or a song on your body, what would it be? Oh, I don't even have tattoos, man. That's a great question, though. Oh, this is weird. What the heck happened? I don't remember. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, John Doe. His Hot and Blue Guitar. That's the album I was thinking of. A tattoo. I would probably get something from Prince, I think. I think I would do something like that. I'd have to really think about it, though. What's on here? Oh, Cry, Cry, Cry. Either Cry, Cry, Cry or I Walk the Line. Probably one of my favorites. Are there any artists I wish people knew more about? Oh, man. I mean, there's I don't know, like I don't see myself necessarily as a like champion for or a like a spokesman for like lesser known bands, but like any one band in particular. But because I honestly feel like I'm always learning about new bands I never heard of. So, but I guess I don't know, man. Did I have any media play or Sam Goody? Yeah, I had a Sam Goody growing up. I'm still trying to think about if there's a band I wish more people knew about. The problem is like most of my friends, very few of my friends are really into a lot of music, so like pretty much anything I say, have you heard this? They're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. So like I tend not to talk a lot of music. All right, good night. Do I like the Pixies? Yeah, Pixies are cool. I remember walking out of Fight Club and it like forever changed my life, and hearing that song by them as the towers were falling was just like, what the hell did I just watch? It was pretty crazy. Do I like Nick Drake? Yeah, Nick Drake's great. Oh man, I tried answering this earlier of a favorite soundtrack. It was really hard. I have not heard of Black Honey. Excuse me, I had to yawn there. I have not heard of Black Honey, but thank you, T Hines 91. Favorite soundtrack. Like I like Legend, the Tangerine Dream version, and Blade Runner the original Blade Runner soundtrack. Stand By Me, that's a great soundtrack. It's kind of more of a compilation album, but yeah. What is the weather like where I'm at? It is partly sunny and warm. It's like in the 70s. It's crazy. I don't really follow Tool or A Perfect Circle, but that's really cool that they're coming out with new stuff. I'll definitely check it out. Would I recommend a good and cheap turntable? What's your budget, David? Because anything under $200 really isn't going to be good unless it's like a used turntable that you got a screaming deal on. Yeah, totally. I want to check out, thank you, Vinyl Collector. I really want to check out more of the Pixies, and those are great suggestions. Doolittle and Surfer Rosa. Yeah. Isn't Frank Black part of the Pixies? I always get that confused. I thought he was, but maybe he's not. Do you guys like, what's that band? No, I just heard a dog squeak. What is it? Blister in the Sun? Who did that song? I always forget. Violent Femmes. You guys like that band? Oh, he goes by the name Black Francis, though. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. When did that even come out? Violent Femmes, 1997. Huh. Wow. All right, John, take care, buddy. Take care. Chili Gonzalez. I don't know. I don't know Chili Gonzalez. I love that name, though. That's hilarious. Have I heard of Royal Blood or Wolf Alice? Yeah, I've heard of both of them, but I don't have opinions on either. I guess Chili Gonzalez goes by Gonzalez now. Favorite Talking Heads LP? Oh gosh. Well, I think Remain in the Light is pretty awesome. But, man, not sure. Hey, Vinyl Collector, I believe the rarest album I own is a paste-over Butcher's cover of Yesterday and Today by the Beatles. But I don't know if that is, I don't really know what is really rare that I have. I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put some of these albums away. If you could only take one record to Deserted Island, what would it be? You know, I would have to take Weezer's Blue Album, definitely. I'm gonna open up this one because this was sent to me. I don't know what it is. It's got kind of a cool cover. And Christopher Gemma asked, or Gemma, what did I pay for the Butcher cover? I did not pay for it. Somehow I well, basically, growing up, being like the only person that most people knew that actually still bought vinyl, stuff was just given to me. And I remember, I think my parents must have, or my dad bought a huge stack of records at a garage sale one time. And they were in the garage, and I'm like, what are these records? And he's like, oh, you can have them. And I'm like, okay. And there was a lot of classic rock. And there was a copy of Yesterday and Today. And for the longest time, I thought it was just a normal just a normal trunk cover. But then I got a copy of Goldmine's book, and in there was a whole middle section on the legacy of the Butcher cover. And I learned about the second state, which was a paste over. And then I was like, huh, I wonder if I have one of those. And sure enough, I go look at that copy, and it was a paste over. And you can see Ringo's sweater, like you can kind of see it over here in this white part. That's how you can kind of tell without peeling it off. So that's how I got it. I didn't pay for it at all. I just discovered it. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Huh. Pretty clean looking. Oh, that's an interesting color. Kind of a green gold. Do I have any advice for high school? It's only 4 years, and the people, the cool people, they're just like you, and they make stupid decisions, and they're just kids, and it's like high school is rarely great for everybody, and it's usually okay for most. And you know, just get in there, get your grades done, and move on. Have fun, make good friends, but know that this is not going to be your life, and you're gonna have some great memories, and those will last, and the crappy stuff will fade away. So grin and bear it, and do your best, and you know, have fun while you're at it too. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. Is there anything included in here? Oh, okay. Huh, I'll have to check this out later. Huh. I did not check out Mac DeMarco's Paul McCartney cover. That sounds cool, though. This is Blind Idiot God with their album Undertow. Are you into the National? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like the National a lot. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on, guys. So, Blind Idiot God. Okay, I'm so confused. I think this is like... It's a new pressing, but I think this is an old band. Let me look them up. Huh. Yeah, I'm really confused who these guys are. Huh. Blah, 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 blah. Any classical music I enjoy? Yeah, definitely. I don't like classical music's kind of funny because it all is, it's sort of kind of is all the same to me. I know that's terrible to say, but I really like Clair de Lune by Debussy. I really like that song. Let's see, how are we doing here on all this? All right, this is a different album. This is Prospect of the Deep Volume 1. Have I listened to REM's debut Murmur? You know, I own it, and I can't remember the last time I listened to it. All right. This is 2 songs. Interesting. Oh, these are both on Invisible Music, that record label. I don't know that record label. I hate when stuff gets stuck. Look at that. It like will not come out. Apparently, Blind Idiot God worked with Henry Rollins. Huh. Well, I like Henry Rollins. I think he's got good taste in music, so... Oh, come on. What? Sorry about pinching this record, but it will not come out of there. Crazy. Oh, what the heck happened there? I'll have to check this out. Maybe this sleeve is just defective. It's a little too narrow maybe, or maybe this record's a little too long. Huh, that's weird. Have I ever seen Rollins on any of his speaking tours? No, but he is a DJ here in LA, and he does like a Sunday night program, and it's always cool to listen to what he has to say on there. Well, that's cool. Got some new records to listen to. Alrighty. Yeah. Who's still here? Who's been on here for like 3 hours? That's what I want to know. What's with the rounded corners in your videos? It harkens back to like old film. Like look at 16mm, 8mm film. It kind of has some rounded corners. So we're just kind of creating a slight visual, like a vintage feel without being like too in your face. So it's just like a little thing that separates it from everything else. You've only been here for 10 minutes, Vinyl Collector? Do I collect all sizes of vinyl? I'm assuming, Wesley, you mean like 7-inch and 10-inch and 12-inch, and then there's one size that was even bigger than that, and I always forget it. I don't collect that size, but yeah, I collect 78s, 45s, 7 inches, 10 inches, and yeah, 12-inch albums. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's worse, man. I have to definitely change out that record sleeve. I'm gonna get some more water here. How many Pink Floyd albums do I have in my collection? Michelangelo asks. I will check it out. I will see what I have, because I don't remember all the time. Have I ever ruined a record? Yeah. I mean, I've fucked them up before, especially with, I had this one record that it was mastered weird, so like the Infinite Groove was a little narrow for my turntable, and it was a straight arm Stanton, and I don't like that. I got rid of that one, but it got guided too far in, and then it swung back, and it just dragged the needle all the way across. That pissed me off so much. Do I ever go back and watch my old videos? A lot of times I go back and read the scripts, but not often. Worst experience I've had record shopping. No, nothing really stands out. What I don't like is a lot of times I'll be at thrift stores, and like other vinyl people will like they'll wanna like talk to you. I don't know, I always find that weird. Like you get life stories sometimes. Not that it's a terrible thing, but I'm always on the fence about that. It's kind of funny. But worst experience, there was one shop, it's actually closed now, but they were like just down the street from me, and I just felt like the guy was just watching me the whole time, and like it made me a little uncomfortable in a way, so I didn't like that. When I walked in, no one was out front, and then he came out from the back, which was kind of weird. Their prices were super high for, I thought, no good reason, so I don't know, man. Apparently I can't spell Pink Floyd. What do you do with warped records? You know, I have like a pile that I've been keeping warped records in. Not a pile, but a stack. And one day I'll get a vinyl flat machine and do a review and also like look at it. Okay, so Pink Floyd albums. I think I have 2 copies of Metal. I have Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, and 2 copies of Dark Side of the Moon. Is there a collector find moment that stands out in my memory? Ooh, this has got some static. So this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna play because I gotta do some chores around the house. Oh, okay, I see. Is there a collecting find? Like, is there a moment that, like, I found a holy grail in something really obscure? Yeah, I feel like my awesome finds videos, I will like tell those stories and then I forget them because I put them on tape and I just don't remember them. But I think the most recent thing I found was an original early pressing of the Seeds debut LP. I got it for $20 and it's one of those records that can go for $200 just because of how rare it is, and it was in really good condition. So Vinyl Collector wants to know my favorite albums of 2017, and I have a top 10 video coming out for that. So that comes out Tuesday. But worst albums, I gotta say, Beck's Colors was disappointing, and I mean, in some way, I did enjoy it, but Arcade Fire's latest was disappointing. It wasn't terrible, but it was disappointing. But I still enjoyed it, and what else did I hate? I can't think of something something else I hated. Well, you're welcome, Super Mr. Dome. Happy Bowie Day. Yeah. Oh, really? Bowie, Facebook, and Twitter just released a demo track of Let's Dance. That's cool. How about that new Weezer? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Pacific Daydream, I don't think it was bad. I think it was good for post-Pinkerton Weezer, but I don't think it was as good as the White Album or Everything Will Be Alright in the End. But yeah. Do you guys keep track of your collection on Discogs? I like to look at like what it says your collection's worth. Like I'm ever gonna get $34,000 from my collection. That would that would be a stretch. Thoughts on Trout Mask Replica? I own it, but I need to listen to it. It's sad that I haven't done that yet, but this past month I've just been trying to make my, not this month, but all of December I was just trying to figure out what my top 10 were for 2017. But I really like this album, actually. Polygonda Wandaland. These guys crack me up. I would love to talk to a couple of these guys. So, I don't know. It just seems like we're either my live stream is done, or we're we're kind of wrapping this thing up. I think. Am I ever overwhelmed with the amount of music that you want to get into? Oh, absolutely. It's insatiable. You can never listen to it all. It's kind of depressing in that sense. Have you ever listened to Ram Ranch? No. Never heard of that. Ty Seagal's got a new one coming out. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, I got a copyright claim for... Oh, that's an old one. That was an old one. That was before I started this stream. Yeah, what are some of your guys' top 5 or top 3 albums of 2017? Has the apocalypse hit you? The adpocalypse hit you? Not really. I had something come up with my Radiohead review for some dumb reason. I don't know if someone manually flagged my video, but I sent in for a manual request and I got immediately it got brought back up. So no, I haven't really. I don't tend to post videos that get automatically flagged for advertising kind of things, like not suitable for advertising. So I've been okay for the most part. What's my favorite Johnny Burnett Trio song? It would be The Train Kept A-Rollin', I think is the name of it. I forget. Do I listen to Kendrick Lamar? Absolutely, totally. If Ty Segall releases any more albums, I think I'm just gonna never be able to listen to them all. You know, that's interesting. I've heard that, like, that's the new thing now, is just to keep releasing albums. Like, it used to be singles and now it's albums, and I don't know why that is. I don't know what it is about, if that's how streaming works better in artist interest. I'd really like to know that. A Crow Looked at Me is my favorite album of the year, Elmo says. Absolutely. Nice. So Harrison mentions an album called I Am On Your Side by The Sleeping Bag. Cool. Paramore, okay. Queens of the Stone Age, Paramore, and Waves. Okay. Best album, Always, Antisocialites, LCD, American Dream, St. Vincent's, Mass Seduction. And I like Arcade Fire because Arcade Fire are always great. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still enjoyed it. Was Relaxer released this year by Alt J? I thought it was 2016. I can't remember. Heavy Meta by Ron Gallo is one for you. Hey.
Where's the vacuum cleaner?
It is in where the kitty litter. I'm almost done. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Saturation Trilogy by Brockhampton. You know, that's not on vinyl. I haven't been able, not that I can't listen to it otherwise, but I've been checking on that. Yeah, I hear great things about it. Kitty Litter is a great album. Yeah, it's very funny, very funny. Is it actually? I'm sure it is an album somewhere. I don't know Ram Ranch. Converge, The Dusk in Us was the album I heard the most times this year. Who does that, Ben? Matthew likes Pure Comedy from Father John Misty. I thought it was pretty good. When I went back and listened to it, though, I felt it was a bit uneven. In retrospect, I still really enjoy it. It's funny too, like the XX released their album early in January, and I think a lot of people forgot about that one. I can change the album cover background. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you can change this. Yeah. I really like that too. I mean, the deluxe edition's awesome. Oh, sandwich guy, my wife was just asking me where the vacuum cleaner was, because I got to do some chores after this. I got to help clean up the house. Did I like the new Portugal the Man? No, that one went under my radar. Oh, okay, Elmo, you like Jamie XX's stuff, his solo stuff. Okay. How many records would I say I owned? A couple thousand? I don't really know. Well, I'm gonna start cleaning up a little bit here. Do I have any Miles Davis records? Yeah, I got. I was playing this one earlier, Bitches Brew. Do I ever listen to Grimes? Or Grime? Is Grime? Did you mean Grimes, Elmo? Favorite album by the Smiths? Probably The Queen Is Dead. Would you ever review the Beatles' U.S. albums? Probably the what is it? I'm blanking on the Magical Mystery Tour. Oh, the genre grime. I don't know about that. UK rap. I don't know about that. Is there any record you really want but is just too expensive? Yeah, like an original issue of the Velvet Underground's debut. Do I have any? You got any Half Man, Half Biscuit albums? No, I don't. Is that? I don't know what that is. Oh no, Chris, it's that Magical Mystery Tour is not my favorite Beatles album. I'm just saying I would consider reviewing the US version of it. Someone asked if I would review US Beatles albums, and that one I would. Hi Francisco, I don't really know much Chilean music, sorry, but I'm always open to hear stuff. Elmo the Magic Unicorn albums? No. I don't know that. Godfather would be a great intro into the genre of grime if you're interested. Godfather. Oh, what? Wiley Godfather. Okay. Sorry, I missed that first part. Yeah, I'll check that out. Godfather, huh? What's my favorite Christmas song? I would say that Charlie Brown's Christmas Time song by what's his name? So bad about that. HMHB are a UK band who have been going since 1985. I don't think they ever translate to the USA market somehow. Oh, Half Man, Half Biscuit. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I recommend you Los Tres. Los Tres, the Three. Favorite Bob Dylan album? I don't know. Nashville Skyline. Would you review the Beatles singles? Oh, the Christmas singles. You know, I looked into that, but it's like you can't even buy it now, so probably not. What's up, Ben from Croatia? Check out Time, 1972 classic prog rock, and they were from my hometown. Cool, okay. Check out Time's self-titled album from 1972. I have not heard of Time. Do I like the San Quentin concert over the Folsom Prison concert? You know, I think it's worth getting them both, honestly. You can't go wrong. Well, thank you, Mybe. Thank you very much. What was it? Time. Huh. Interesting. I will check them out. What's that record behind me? Oh, this one? Yeah, Childish Gambino. Awaken My Love. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know how I can add it to my want list. Oh, I guess I have to pick one. Darn it. Okay, we're coming down to the last track here, everybody. I ain't gotta go soon. Yeah, I'm on Discogs. I have, right now actually. I am on, stop. My, handle is the Vinyl Geek. Do I have anything by the fall? I might? I don't know. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. I don't think... Their name is familiar, but I guess I don't have anything from them. Yeah, none of their stuff is really popping out. Do I have many viewers from Australia? I don't think I have a lot. It's mostly United States and Canada, and then the UK. Or not the UK, but like, you know, Great Britain. Do I like cats or dogs? I like both, but I own a cat, so I'm kind of partial to kitties. Well, that is, Chris, you are number one Australian fan. Yes, kitty litter. Now it all makes sense why I was talking about kitty litter. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the fall. Huh. What is Manchester like, Alex? Do you like living there? Am I a fan of David Lynch? I wouldn't call myself a fan. I just watched Eraserhead, visually it's amazing, but David Lynch, he's an artist, and I love that aspect of it, but he's not the best storyteller, or at least like the last Twin Peaks was really waned on me. I did not get into that. Oh really? You didn't like my review on Colors by Beck? Yeah, I mean, I realized that when I posted it, probably people weren't gonna like it, but I mean, it's not that I hated the album, I just thought I was expecting more from it. So I really still hate that one song. Wow, I still hate that song. But like, I don't know, I didn't expect that from Beck, and not that it's a bad thing. It wasn't something I don't know, really wasn't into it. Have I ever been to Croatia or Europe in general? Yeah, I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to Croatia. I've just been to Italy, France, Greece. Do I like Fume? I don't know. Oh, that's funny. Beth, you're from Missouri, USA? Is that a real place? Missouri? Or no, wait, I'm saying that wrong, aren't I? Missouri. Missouri? I don't know where that is. Opinions on Morrissey. I don't think I would really get along with Morrissey himself, but I love the Smiths, and I like a lot of what Morrissey has done since. So yeah, no problem with the musicianship and the music. I just don't know if I really get along with Morrissey. Not that it matters. Okay, that will wrap it up for today. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, you're from Missouri. Got it. That makes sense, Beth. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I am gonna sign out very soon, as long as I can find the button. And I guess I can't do it on here. I wonder how I do it. Anyway, I'll just stop it here. Take care, everybody. Yeah.